welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay, Jimmy. A year's worth of yays.
A year's worth are done, James.
This is my name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmie Whisman.
That is your 54th yay, my friend, by the way. 54th yay. This is our first episode of our second year of CIS. Cool. We finished up. We did 53 episodes in our first year. We did one a week plus one bonus episode.
Plus Ryan Leaf.
Oh, he was a jerk off. Go back and check him out. Wow, that was a mess. I think it was episode 12. Yeah. Disaster.
What a peckerhead.
I want to check him out. But we have had some huge scumbags.
Yes.
Tonight is the biggest scumbag of them all for our anniversary show. It's tremendous.
Yes.
Before we get to that, just want to thank everybody for their iTunes reviews this week.
What a week.
You guys came through big time for us. Thank you so much. This is, like I said, our 1 year anniversary show. So if you want to do something nice for us for our anniversary,
get us to 200.
Get us and beyond.
Yes.
Give us your iTunes
Push
review.
It.
If you've been listening this whole time or for a while and you haven't done it yet, please, It takes 30 seconds. I know it's a pain in the ass. Just sign in. Do it. It really helps us. Just give us 5 stars. Tell us you're following instructions or directions. Say whatever you want.
Right.
But just do it. It really, really helps us, and we really, really can't tell you how much we appreciate it.
It does wonders.
It's the best thing to do for the show. If you're a new listener, get on that. Do it. Join the club.
Fuck?
Come on. What are you guys doing here?
Yeah.
If you're a new listener, welcome aboard. You have picked quite the episode. You have picked quite the episode. In a year, we had 54 of terrible people, basically. We've had some bad ones. We had our Eddie Johnson, who raped an 8-year-old girl, which you don't get any worse than that. No. We've had Tom Paine in his dish towel. Yeah. We've had burned up bodies in car trunks. We've had
plenty of MMA fighters gone awry.
Stranglings. And the guy last week cut a man still beating heart out.
Out of the chest.
Out of their chest. And this guy's worse.
Ugh.
This is worse. This week we have our first a genuine, bona fide serial killer.
Yes.
Actually, I know we sound excited about that, but there's only...
It's crazy.
It's crazy. This guy was actually a professional athlete, and he was quite the prolific serial killer. And it's deep. This is a deep episode. Let's get right into it. What do you say?
Looking at those cards, I can't wait. Let's get started.
Stack. We have a lot to do here. This was a tough one. Our fella this week for the first episode of the new year, or of our new year, Randall Brent Woodfield.
Okay.
Randy Woodfield, better known as the I-5 Killer. Is our first.
Got himself a nickname.
Our first criminal has a nickname based on his exploits. Like
what
this.
A nickname
That's
it is.
An incredible one. He was born December 26th,
I mean, it's no gorilla pimp.
It's no gorilla pimp,
right?
But
I-5 Killer's pretty dope.
He didn't give that to himself, though. Gorilla pimp. You have to name yourself gorilla pimp. No, maybe if he gave himself a nickname, it would have been even better.
Right.
But he's born December 26, 1950. He is from Otter Rock, Oregon.
Okay.
Small town in Oregon, up about midway up the coast in Oregon. There, it's a coastal town.
Yeah.
He grows up in a very nice family.
Yeah.
That's the odd thing. Like, this is not one of these situations where there was a lot of abuse, or they grew up in a foster home, or they grew up with a horribly abusive mother, and they did none of this with this guy. He grew up in a very nice household, upper middle class, had a really nice father, had a managerial position at Pacific Northwest Bell Telephone Company.
Oh, wow.
Very well-respected guy. Mother was a homemaker, stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
This is a very Leave It to Beaver type of thing.
Sounds like it.
He is Beaver Cleaver, like 1961, 11-year-old kid
Beaver
hanging
with
out.
a cleaver, it sounds
like. With a cleaver,
like.
yeah, exactly. Beaver the Cleaver. He has 2 older sisters that one becomes a doctor, the other becomes an attorney.
Wow.
So this is a decent family. He does not come from,
he became a professional athlete.
They became a professional. This is not the Texas Chainsaw Massacre people sitting here drooling on each other and jerking off on themselves. This is a completely different deal. This is a weird case for a serial killer. The only thing that comes up that he brings up later is later on he said he felt like women dominated his home. This is all very... You could tell he's got issues from this right off the bat.
He doesn't like a strong woman?
He said that he felt women dominated his home. He resented his sisters for being older and having more privileges because of their age, which
that happens.
That's every family.
You earn it, fucker.
Exactly. The mother was the disciplinarian, and he said he felt humiliated when she punished him. Oh, you poor little psyche. Fuck off. Yeah. Good Lord. I grew up with a grandmother from Italy. She used to beat the shit out of me for everything. I'm not killing women. Come on.
This is a guy.
Please, dude.
He clearly would loathe the whole feminist movement.
Yeah, he wouldn't like what's going on.
Makes me feel bad for disliking most of it.
Yeah, no, this guy.
Because I don't want to be lumped in with guys like this fucking jerk.
Don't worry, you're not lumped in with this guy. He said he couldn't meet the unrealistic goals set by his mother. Was his complaint.
All right.
Ends up growing up like a strong guy, 6 foot 170, which back then is a pretty big guy still in the early 70s, late 60s. He's very athletic, very muscular, very in shape. He goes to Newport High up there in Oregon. He's a star track and field guy, and he's a football player.
All right.
He does very well.
Fast.
He's fast. Yeah. He's got a lot of speed, as we'll see later. He runs a 4.740, which is pretty goddamn fast. I mean, that's not like, top NFL wide receiver speed, but for a regular person, he'd run circles around you.
It's
you know
pretty
what
solid.
I mean? It's pretty fast. He's a star football player in college. As a junior, he is caught standing on a bridge exposing himself to women. As a junior in high school.
As a junior in high school, he just can't keep his dick put away.
And a funny thing is, at first I'm thinking, well, this is like 1967.
Yeah.
Like, that's considered streaking back then. That's considered funny.
Well, and that was pretty common then, too.
That was common.
Yeah.
But if we didn't know how this turned out, this would be funny and common. But now we know this is just the start of something much worse.
This is a precursor to problems.
This is terrible. His parents made him go to a therapist for this.
Yeah.
And the therapist labeled it as normal sexual exploration, which in most people it might have been. I assume the doctor was a hippie. I'm just going to say the guy was like very touchy-feely, probably shared a joint with the kid and was like, listen, I get it.
Sometimes the kid's dick's got to come out.
Sometimes your pants are too tight, man. You just got to let it free. Were you trying to be free, man? You're trying to be free? Oh, I understand. Be free. Let him free. So his high school coaches said that they knew about the whole thing, but thought it was just boys being boys.
That's so weird.
Yeah, just flashing their ball sacks. That's what boys do. They just whip their ball sacks around.
That's hysterical because when I was a kid, I mean, you do towel whipping in the locker room or whatever. Yeah. It's never on a nude ass. We very rarely were ever nude in the locker room. There was boxers on or whatever.
You want to not
you smack a dude in the ass with a towel or something and giggle your ass off. But you don't pull your dick out.
Not in front of women on a bridge in
especially
public.
not in fucking public. I'm terrified to show a woman my dick now, and I'm 35.
And he's not just like running down the street, just like, I'm flashing, I'm streaking. He was like, when a woman went by, he'd take his dick out.
That's so weird to me.
Like,
I'm uncomfortable showing my wife my dick.
Well, she's uncomfortable with it too, Jimmy. That's the problem. So maybe you have the right feeling there.
I felt like she told you that.
She did. We've been talking, Jimmy. It's rough. We'll discuss this later.
Jimmy mentions it on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Bring it out then.
So when he turns 18, his juvenile record is expunged because why not?
Yeah.
He turns 18, that happens, so it doesn't matter. He goes to Treasure Valley Community College for his freshman year.
Going to show everybody his treasure.
Absolutely. He's like, I got a treasure. It's right here in my valley. It's in Treasure Valley, Oregon. I think that's also, too, a lot of times these football players who they haven't been recruited heavily by a major school will go to like a junior college, a community college to try to be the star there to then be able to play at a bigger college.
Big fish in a small pond.
Absolutely. Right. While in Treasure Valley, he is arrested for tearing up and ransacking the apartment of a girl who broke up with him.
Oh, my God.
He doesn't take rejection well,
no,
this guy.
He's got a problem with women.
He's actually taken all the way to trial for this. There's not much evidence, though, and he's acquitted by a jury trial. Now, imagine how emboldened that makes him.
Yeah.
So far, he's had a couple of run-ins with the law. In one, the hippie doctor just said, man, boys being boys. He got his balls out. Who cares? And then he's got this guy, just getting acquitted. Now he's getting acquitted by a jury. So he probably
everything
feels
just
above
goes
the law.
away, always.
Yeah. Everything goes away.
Yep.
And a lot of it, too, I'm sure, has to do with football. And he puts all that into that.
Got a bit of an ego. He's a big dude. He's athletic.
There's silver-haired, middle-aged white men ready to help him. It's all right there,
As long as I keep this shit together, everything goes away.
Everything's going to be fine. 1971, he transfers to Portland State University, which is to play football over there. It's a bigger school, obviously. He's a redshirt, so he doesn't play for his sophomore year, which is the 71 season.
Gotcha.
Redshirt means you're taking a year off, basically.
Right. You're going to learn the playbook for an entire year.
Yeah, you're going to sit, you're going to learn, you're not going to play, you're not going to do shit. Now, at at Portland State University, Woodfield was huge into because when he gets to Portland State University, not only does he play football, he finds religion. He finds religion early. Before everything, which is
hilarious that sexual exploits were in this thing, and you just confused Portland State with Penn State.
With Penn State. It's hard not to when you're dealing with sexual assault.
That was awesome.
It really isn't. So he's huge into the Campus Crusade for Christ and the Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Oh, my God.
It's an organization in school that he's super into.
The worst.
Former teammate said of him, quote, it seemed real important to him that he came across as someone who would do the right thing, almost like it was keeping him together. Like, if I just pray a lot, I won't have my balls out.
It's like his glue.
It's his glue, yeah. If I pray
It's like
a lot,
his zipper. It's the zipper that keeps it all inside.
It's like like a Catholic school dance. They'd say, "Leave room for the Holy Ghost in between." That's the same thing with that.
That's hilarious.
Have Christ pull your zipper. Christ would want your zipper to be up. 1972 on the field, he catches 5 passes for 97 yards as a junior. The press guide says about him, the Portland State press guide says he's, quote, a sprinter in track, gives solidarity in a reserve role, and has all the potential. That's what the media guide said about him.
They like him.
They like him. August 7th, 1972, he's convicted of indecent exposure in Vancouver, Washington.
Did he lose God? What happened to the zipper, sir?
Well, you know what? Like I said, I think it's a matter of he said, God made this, and he wants me to let it dangle.
Jesus wants this scene.
God made my zipper, and he made my dick.
And he said it's
Got
perfect.
Both. They're both great. It's in his image. He would want his cock out.
Have a peek.
Come on. So he's convicted of indecent exposure in Vancouver, Washington, and receives a suspended sentence. So, again, there's no punishment for it. So
I mean, the charge sticks, but there's no punishment.
No punishment. And back then, too, it wasn't like you could Google something or get on computer records.
Yeah.
You had to go down to a court and ask for the fucking pay. You know, it was hard to figure out if someone had gotten arrested back then.
I'm assuming that indecent exposure is a minor thing to everybody back then.
It was.
Now,
it was a misdemeanor.
Okay.
Misdemeanor
Nobody
deal.
gave a shit because now, I mean, you do that shit and people find out about it. They look at you different.
You're a sexual, you're
a problem.
registered sex offender now. It's insane.
You're a deviant.
You are. So while in the Christian fellowship there, he played on the Bible study basketball team.
Oh.
You want to guess what their name was?
The Crusaders.
The God Squad.
Jesus, what?
The God Squad.
And there's the pun for this week. We don't even need one.
It's right there.
The God Squad.
The God
what a
Squad.
dipshit.
That's why I asked you to see if you would come up with that. Who knows? It's probably been named by assholes in the past.
For years.
Decades-old assholes have done this.
Horrific.
He acted very religious, but Bible study people said they'd see him in like shady parts of town sometimes. Like, why is he walking around over there where the hookers are and shit? Teammates said, quote, toward the end, he became very irregular, started doing weird things. Teammates started saying he led a double life.
Yeah.
Basically, one teammate said, quote, he'd date showgirls. He'd go to topless clubs. When he moved into an apartment by himself, he'd have these girls over. He fooled a lot of us for a long time. Yeah. He's just like this pretend Christian. He's just like, listen, the Lord and everything else. Right. And, look at them titties. Like, that's what he's doing.
Them titties,
Hold on, let me get my zipper down. Wait, she might want to see this.
She needs to see this dick.
She has got to see it. 1972 starting quarterback for the team named John Carey said about him, quote, he was a suave, sophisticated fella, confident in himself, but not to the point of being cocky. He's good with the ladies, basically. Girls dig him. He is Mr. 70s style. Okay. He's got dark hair, muscular. He has like a Magnum P.I. Tom Selleck mustache, like 1985 Tom Selleck.
Butterfly collars.
Porn mustache going in the 70s. That was hot shit. You had a little chest hair and some dark curly hair and a mustache, boy, you're getting pussy deep in food at that point. You are getting some.
It's everywhere.
You don't even. You might as well just leave it out because they're going to come running. Basically, I think for him, but he's still
just going to have to dip it from mouth to mouth anyway. So just keep it out.
You got that mustache. Right. What are you supposed to do?
You get carpal tunnel pulling up and down your zipper.
Well, that's why there's the Lord for help with that. That's why Jesus exists, buddy. So in 1973 here, the freshman quarterback for the team, Anthony Stoudemire, said, quote, he really didn't fit in. He'd make out of the blue, off-the-wall statements. And the running back, who was his brother, Charles Stoudemire. By the way, these are both Damon Stoudemire's uncles.
Get out of here.
Damon Stoudemire, the NBA basketball player for years for Portland.
These are his uncles.
These are his uncles who played on the same team, quarterback and running back with this guy. Small world here. He said, quote, Randall was always grooming himself. That even carried over to the way he played. He seemed like he was more interested in looking cute out there than getting the job done.
Unbelievable.
That's what they say about him a lot.
That's a man that brushed his pubic hair.
He's insanely narcissistic. And back then, you'd want to fluff and brush and really blow him out, get him puffy. Yeah, you were like, I need to really get this puffy and get a real nice fro going.
I want this fro so big that just the tip sticks out.
You want the puff to be seen in your tight jeans. You want people to go, that is quite the coif he's got in there, boy. Let me tell you something. That is puffy. An anonymous Portland State University teammate said, quote, he was a little strange, maybe stranger than we thought. you just had a bad feeling about the guy, like there was something underneath his mask.
Yeah.
So a lot of people had a weird feeling. Another guy here, a linebacker from the team named Bill Hansen, he said, quote, he was quiet and abstract. He made my girlfriend nervous. 44 years later, she's my wife. She had an eerie feeling about the guy. He made her uneasy.
And she was right.
She was absolutely right. Yes, so some people have the intuition about it. June 22nd, 1973, he is arrested for indecent exposure, resisting an officer, and attempting to elude arrest. The resisting charges are dropped.
I just saw it all happen in my head, too.
Oh, yeah.
The cop's like, hey, put that dick away.
And he tried to grab him, and he's like, no, and pulled his arm away and tried to
pushed him
run.
down and ran.
And this poor cop had to tackle a guy with his dick flopping around.
What's his balls going?
Yeah, trying to tackle a world-class athlete with his balls flopping around. Great. Lucky me. Why'd I sign up for this fucking job?
That's an awesome one.
Poor guy was probably campus security. He's like, back then, I'm making $1.50 an hour.
To wrestle this man's dick to the ground.
His balls were on my forearm just now. I don't like this at all. He's convicted of these charges. They dropped the resisting arrest charges. He's convicted of the other two. He's sentenced to 5 months in jail. Never serves a fucking day.
Wow.
Never serves a day.
How does he get out of that?
That I have no idea. He gets
That's
out of
crazy.
a couple things. I mean, he was everywhere here. The coach of the team, Coach Stratton, said he didn't know about the arrests. And he also, if he did, he would have told NFL teams that came around to look at him, which one did. And we're going to get into this here quick. And then sports is going to be over fast because this is all goddamn crime, boy. Let me tell you something. Mike Brundage, who was the Portland State offensive coordinator, said, quote, one summer, it might have been his junior year, he got into some trouble in a parking lot outside of Memorial Coliseum. He was exposing himself.
Jesus.
I can't remember if we found out then or we found out later. You tried to work with him and you tried to help him. He had some really good potential as a player, but he was having some trouble between his ears, which is my favorite old man statement ever.
Nobody has said yet anything about the dick. Like, it's got to be a hog. It's got to be a monster
It's funny
because
it's never really brought up, too. And all the research I've done, and
nobody's going to say anything because they're not going to be like, it was way too big.
He had a monster, just a huge cock on the guy.
Why the hell would it come out? Right.
You don't want
Why would it come out
him.
so frequently? He was not embarrassed of this thing.
We'll get into the psychology of it, but it's more than that.
My point is, it was huge because he had to show fucking everybody.
I just like the old man's statement of he was having trouble between his ears. It's like, instead of saying he was a dumb shit, he's like, he's having some trouble between his ears, this kid. I don't fucking know. Now, the 1973 press guide for Portland State said about him, quote, made giant strides last season toward becoming a top-notch receiver, an adequate blocker, and he became much tougher. He had 18 catches for 276 yards. The team was awful. They were 1-10.
Jesus.
They lost 59-0 against Nevada Reno, 54-7 against Puget Sound, which I don't even know if Puget Sound. You ever heard of that football team? I fucking haven't.
No.
But yeah, awful team. They ran most of the time. He didn't have much chance to catch anything.
Something tells me after the game while they're hitting the showers, he is just laughing. He can't wait to get out of the locker room because he's like, I got to show somebody this dick.
Well, I think he's excited because he gets to go into the shower. He's like, I can strip down and I won't
Check
get arrested
this out,
for
everybody.
it. Yay. He just prances around.
I get to show you guys my dick and you can't do anything about it.
He's the guy when everyone else was dressed, he was still sitting there like putting deodorant on with his balls just hanging out, looking
got
around.
His foot on a fucking bench.
Hey, buddy, how you doing? like Top Gun when he comes over to Tom Cruise with his Val Kilmer. That's what it was. I feel like one of those with everybody at the towel. Hey, buddy.
He's talking about plays and everything to keep him there longer.
Tell you about this button hook I've been thinking about, pal. I'm going to come in. I'm going to cut in, and you hit me with that bad boy right in the bread basket, if you know what I mean. Knee up the whole time. Jesus Christ. Now,
what a conversation.
Really, somehow the Green Bay Packers take note of this guy and they come to scout him. In the fall of 73, a Green Bay Packers scout comes to the practice field to check out Randall. Check Randy out. He was the team's leading receiver. And the coach, Ron Stratton, who we mentioned before, he was a new coach. He's not a silver-haired, middle-aged white man. He's actually a 29-year-old black man.
Wow.
He was only the second black coach in the history of the school.
Good for him.
And 29 is super young. He played at the University of Oregon, like 8 years earlier. So that's really
good for him.
Really good for him. He was the new coach. He didn't want to oversell Randall. Didn't want to oversell Randy to the scout and look like an idiot later.
Yeah.
So he was trying to play it cool.
Yeah.
He said Randy was good. He told the scout, quote, Randy runs decent routes and he's good to the outside. He also told the scout that he doesn't like to get hit, though. Said he doesn't like to go over the middle, Randy. He said, quote, "It's a point of character. Woodfield doesn't have that. He doesn't like to get hit.
Woodfield doesn't want to mess up his face because he's got ladies to impress."
Exactly. And everybody says it. All of his old teammates, they all say the same thing. They're like, man, he just, if it was going to be contact, he would slow up a little. He wasn't going to go over the middle and get walloped. It just wasn't. And back then, you could nail a receiver over the middle. It just wasn't going to happen.
He'll just bat it down.
Coach Stratton said that he did not like confrontation. Randy didn't like confrontation. Said that he was one of the most coachable players on the team. Said he was very friendly with coaches. He said, quote, "He was always bopping around our offices before heading to class. It was like he just wanted to hang out with us." So another thing that's odd, he does not get along with peers well. He can't really hang out with peers very much.
Fascinating.
Sometimes he's kind of weird with certain peers. It's strange. He gravitates toward people that are... It's very strange.
There's some psychology involved there that he sees them, he respects them, but he respects them because he doesn't know them. I don't know.
And he has a completely different relationship with men than with women also.
And he has no interest in posturing to them. It's more because he doesn't want to control them. He wants to control something else.
Yeah, and I feel like he genuinely wants to impress these people, too.
Right.
That's why the coachable thing.
Yeah, that sounds right.
He'll do anything they say, and he'll be nice to them, but then when he goes out there, he won't take a hit.
Right.
It's like, I want you to like me, but I'm not actually taking a hit for it. You know what I mean? But I just want to get you guys.
I want your approval, but I'm not going to go out and fucking physically earn it.
No, I want to get over on you.
Right.
I want you to like me even though I don't do what you need me to do.
That's a mental thing for sure.
Getting over on people. So January 29th and 30th of 1974 is the NFL draft.
Okay.
Which is a totally different deal than it is now. Now it's a big deal. It's on TV. Not televised even back then at all. It was at the Americana Hotel in New York City. Okay. Number 1 overall pick was Ed Too Tall Jones.
No kidding.
We remember from the Cowboys here. Lynn Swann went number 21.
How about that?
The Steelers cleaned up. They got John Stallworth, Lynn Swann, and Jack Lambert. In that draft. That's basically the 70s, like 3 of their MVPs from the Super Bowl run there. Round 15, the Packers picked Dave Wannstedt, who's a future head coach of many teams. I think he's a college head coach right now. Round 17, finally, pick 428. It's about 15 from the end of the draft. The Green Bay Packers take Randy Woodfield.
Wow.
So they picked him. That's their last pick in the draft. They're like, we got one more. Let's throw a flyer on that kid and see what happens. He would seem pretty fast. At the time, Randall is working as a burger chef in Portland.
Wow.
After just in between, he has no money.
It's the best thing that ever happened to him.
Absolutely. The Packers offer him a 1-year, $16,000 contract.
Jesus.
It's $2,000 bonus for catching 25 passes.
Yeah.
$3,000 bonus for catching 30 passes.
All right.
So he signs immediately, obviously. He's excited. He's bragging to everybody about he's going to be a Packer. And around there, like in the college, no one from PSU goes to the NFL. So they were very...
He's going to Green Bay. He's going to where the town fucking adores that team.
That's not the... And also, too, you have to remember in the 60s, they were a dynasty.
Oh, that's right.
They were a dynasty. So
they were huge.
In the early 70s, they were still considered like the class organization in football, like the organization, Vince Lombardi, Bart Starr. That's the place you wanted to play. He quits his chef job when he signs. His ex-roommate said, quote, "Everyone made such a big thing when he was drafted. He put a lot of pressure on himself to make it big."
Oh, I'm sure he did.
This was his thing. This was his way that he was going to make a splash and impress everybody, and he's trying to impress everybody right now, which I don't blame him. So you want to impress everybody. What do?
You pull your dick out.
On February 22nd, 1974, you pull your dick out. Arrested for public decency.
Yes.
You knew it was coming.
Yeah.
This is in Portland. He just got drafted.
What the fuck?
This is 3
Get
weeks
out of
after
town.
the draft.
Move.
Not only that, hey, I just signed with an NFL team. Maybe I won't take my dick out for a while until we see how that goes.
Yeah.
Let's let that percolate for a minute,
Keep
and then we'll
this
get
thing
back
under
to it.
wraps and...
He's convicted. He's sentenced to 5 years probation with counseling.
Oh, shit.
Never got the counseling, by the way, which maybe he could have used it, obviously. Now, 1974, in April, Randy goes to Packers minicamp in Scottsdale, Arizona. The Packers coach that time was a guy named Dan Devine. You might know him from the coach that came in to coach the last season at Notre Dame in the Rudy movie.
Really?
He's the guy that said, "Yeah, we got Dan Devine in from the Packers," and then he didn't know if he was going to play because that coach didn't like. I fucking hate Rudy, by the way. I know you all love fucking Rudy and it's inspirational and all that. I hate Rudy with a passion. This is the worst fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. It's bullshit. He's 5'6" and he's Sean Astin. He's a pudgy fuck. He's not playing college football in any capacity. Fuck him.
He's Samwise Gamgee is what he is. Didn't he end up being the fucking guy in fucking Lord of the Rings?
Yes, yes. You know what I feel bad for? I feel bad for Rudy's nieces and nephews 20 years from now, and he's at Thanksgiving drunk and bald and fat going, I played for Notre Dame, you know. They're like, no, you didn't, you fat fuck. And he's like, I did too. I played. He's still wearing the jacket.
There's a movie.
He's still wearing the Notre Dame jacket. It's all torn up in the sleeves and shit. I hate that fucking movie. Anyway, so yeah, that's Dan Devine. Randy felt like he could make the team. He felt like he's going to make the team. He returns to Portland before the season. There's a mini camp in April, and then they're going to have a training camp in Wisconsin over the summer, obviously. So he returns to Portland. The team for training camp sends him a first-class plane ticket and an invitation to take their limo from the airport to the training facility. They're going to treat him first class.
For real?
He declines.
What?
Says, I don't want that shit, and he drives out there
I don't
instead.
need anybody to be around when I show my dick. I'll drive.
He needs to have his car so he can drive around and show his dick to people, basically.
I'm going to drive the whole way with my dick out.
Yeah. June 1974, he drives out to Wisconsin for training camp.
Right.
And just picture him. He's got to be feeling good.
Yeah.
He's driving his car away from his hometown, away from college, swinging in the breeze, swinging windows open, flopping back and forth like nobody's business, going to Green Bay to play for the fucking Packers, a storied franchise. He's got to feel great about himself. He gets there. He survives the early roster cuts. They do the early ones here. He survives that. And as a last-round draft pick, you got to prove yourself. You're not going to make the team automatically here. Right. The team's media guide said about him, quote, timed at a 4.74 in the 40-yard dash, cuts on a dime, has good hands and catches well in a crowd. Fluid and smooth, hustles, good jumper.
They love him.
So they like him. They like his athletic ability, obviously. They're just saying great athletic ability. Woodfield, like I said, thinks he's going to make the team. He's excited.
He's in.
He's in. August 19th, 1974, he's cut from the Packers. Woodfield says it's because the Packers were concentrating on the running game instead of the passing game, which is true, but that's not why they cut him, actually. Local police said that the team was concerned with off-the-field issues because they're in a small town in Wisconsin, and if you take your dick out all over it...
People find out.
And if you're the Packers, you are the, you're like the Catholic Church in Vatican. I mean, you're the Vatican in Rome, basically. Right. Shit gets back to you. You're the fucking Packers.
Can you imagine if he's in the NFL today, how many dick pics would be strewn about? He'd be on TMZ
everywhere.
In a minute.
Well, he would have got kicked out of the league a long time ago. Like I said, small town. The latest draft pick is like hanging out at the Dairy Queen, swinging his cock around at people. They're going to fucking find that out. You know what I mean? By the way, it's pretty funny that I just said Dairy Queen out of my ass because that's going to come up later. Fall of 74, he stays in Wisconsin. Okay. They cut him and he doesn't move back to Portland. He stays in Wisconsin.
He didn't go home?
No, he moves to Oshkosh. He works as a press brake operator at the Oshkosh Truck Company, or Oshkosh Truck Corporation during the day, and he also makes the semi-pro team around there, the Manitowoc Chiefs. Manitowoc is the making a murderer town, by the way, so he was hanging out around there. Same time, Stephen...
Steve Avery was... Well, Steve Avery is 50-something?
Yeah, maybe Steve Avery as a kid went to a Manitowoc Chiefs game and saw this asshole running around and gave him ideas. This is what happened. By the way, he fucking killed that girl. I'm sorry. Yes, the police did plant evidence and he killed her. Both. It could both happen. Sorry, it can.
I'm fine with that.
So Randy thought that the Packers would see him playing for the local team. If he stayed around, the team execs would go, hey, that Woodfield guy we drafted is doing a hell of a job over there, and then he'd maybe re-sign him.
Bring him back up.
At least for the practice squad, something, basically. But no, because he's taking his dick out all over Wisconsin. 1974 season, the Chiefs there, Manitowoc Chiefs, go to the Central States Football League Championship game versus the Madison Mustangs.
Oh, boy.
That sounds exciting, doesn't it? Ooh, boy.
Two shit towns.
Ooh-wee. Yeah, let's do it. But Madison's a cool college town, I think. Yeah, it's a college town.
You're right.
It's
cool. It is college.
Yeah, Manitowoc, not so cool.
No.
The Chiefs lost 14-0 here, his team, but Randy had 2 catches for 42 yards in the game. Packers didn't fare much better that year. They went 6-8 in 74.
Oh, shit.
I think Dan Devine got shit canned. I think that was his last year. Then he went to Notre Dame to coach Rudy. So this is the timeline. He's here, cuts Woodfield, goes to coach Rudy. That's this guy. Okay.
Now I'm convinced that he has a huge hog. By the way, if he's flashing it in cold ass Wisconsin,
he doesn't care.
He has a huge hog.
Either that or look at it this way.
I don't know why I'm fascinated with his huge hunk, but I know that he has a huge dick.
It could have been shrunken up to the point with the cold, and he still didn't care. That's the thing about this guy.
You can't see it beyond the pubic hair tuft.
No, God, that's the thing. No one you can see their cock back then. You wanted to hold it. You wanted to hold it in with your. Maybe it was for warmth.
It's like a leather jacket. The wind can't cut through it.
It's a cardigan, basically. It's like I'm just going to wrap it up in this. It's nice and soft. It's very good.
I love it.
So after the '74 season, even though he had a really good year on the field, the Chiefs cut Randy.
What?
This is how fucking much of a disaster he is. That even a shit semi-pro team that's probably paying him $50 a game still doesn't want him around.
Too fascinated with your own dick.
There was off-the-field rumors, and the rumors were right because even though there weren't any public arrest records that could be found, basically, because back then they were a little shady, and especially in the small towns. A private investigator later found that he was a part of at least 10 different indecent exposure cases in the state.
Oh, my God.
During this year. 10.
Cases,
yeah.
That means there was way more times.
That's at least 10 that he found. So who knows what else happened in some back. And that were reported. That's fucking
That's
reported.
what I mean.
He probably did 100 of them.
There was thousands.
Unbelievable. So the cop said, quote, he couldn't keep the thing in his pants. That's what a Wisconsin police officer
We know that
said.
already.
That's another one. He had trouble between his ears. He couldn't keep the thing in his pants. I think I wanted to hang out with those two, the cop and that old coach.
Maybe the cop was saying he couldn't keep it in his pants. It was too big. It was coming out the bottom of his pant
Maybe
leg.
that's his problem. His pants burst. maybe he wears the pants, but it's a tight style in the 70s, and when he gets up, the seams pop.
It just falls out.
It falls out. It hits somebody right in the face. It's so large. So Randy at this point, he's got nothing now. He ends up having to go back to Portland because he doesn't have a job. He doesn't have a football. What's he going to do? Hang out at the Oshkosh Truck Corporation? What's the point? Might as well go back. Move back to your hometown. So far, he's found religion and moved back to his hometown.
Absolutely.
He's a fucking 0 for 2. He's not a junior. We can't help that. But the rest of it, good Lord. He is 3 semesters short of graduating from college. And everyone's like, why don't you just go back and get your degree? Because he can go back still on his scholarship from the thing. And he said, no, don't want to.
What?
Doesn't want his degree. Floats from girl to girl, job to job, apartment to apartment. He's doing month here, month there, breaking up with. He's a mess, basically.
His life is already in ruins.
It's falling apart. He's 25 years old.
Jesus.
He's 25 years old. He's already a washed up. Just a washed-up guy back in Portland.
No thoughts of getting his life together because he has the opportunity. You can just go. And I imagine college then didn't cost much. He had 3 semesters.
No,
and
especially
you said
in state. He had a
still,
scholarship.
Yeah, he's still on a scholarship. He could still go finish it and be done.
He was, I guess he was eligible for that because of he played out that year. So that allowed him to be the academically eligible. Now, a lot of this, I have to give credit to somebody here. A lot of this comes from an article called The Interstate 5 Killer from Sports Illustrated. It is by a brilliant writer named L. John Wertheim. He wrote one of the greatest books I've ever read in my life. Guys, seriously, go out and get this book. It's called Scorecasting: Why We Win, and it's all about the psychology of sports, and it's fucking amazing. They get into the statistics and the psychology of it are incredible, and it's like why does the team that's behind by 20, why do they rush back so much and get back in the game and the other team can't stop them? It's psychological. It's amazing, the study they do. The work this guy put into this book and this article, for that matter, are amazing. I love this guy.
Makes sense that he'd be the guy that he writes the story of why does this guy's dick keep coming out and no one can stop it.
It's true. He wrote a great story. So a lot of this is referenced. I mean, there's a ton of other references too, but a lot of it is him. And honestly, he just gets the credit because you could read this and really get the whole idea of who this guy is and everything. Just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about our sponsor, Sherry's Berries. You have got to try Sherry's Berries. No regular Valentine's Day gift. None of this flowers. Don't get her just a box of chocolates. Don't get him or her a box of chocolates. You got to get him Sherry's Berries. I'm telling you guys, I got the original box of Sherry's Berries that they sent me for being they're our sponsor on the show. So they send them to us to try out. I ate them all on my own. That was a huge mistake. Then I smartened up and I used our special offer to get more Sherry's Berries to give to my girlfriend. I'm telling you, I was not sorry. The offer, this is so great. Freshly dipped strawberries from Sherry's Berries starting at just $19.99 plus shipping. Or you can double the berries for just $10 more. Just go to berries.com, that's BERRIES.com, and use the code CIS to help support the show by supporting our sponsors. Use the code CIS. I did that. I got the 2 orders from that, the extra one for $10. I kept the extra one for myself. Don't tell anybody, though. But I gave her the first order, and she loved it. It's a unique gift for a love that's unique, like yours. It's perfect. You really, really got to try Sherry's Berries. These are huge, beautiful strawberries, juicy, fresh, dipped in milk chocolate, dark chocolate, white chocolate, sprinkles, swizzles, you name it, they have it. It is delicious. With Valentine's Day right around the corner, there's only one way to get Sherry's Berries, starting at $19.99. Just visit berries.com, that is BERRIES.com, and click on the microphone at the top right-hand corner and type in CIS. That's berries.com, BERRIES, and use the code CIS to help support our show by supporting our sponsors. Sherry's Berries, no better gift. Do it, guys. Seriously, get on that. Sherry's Berries, promo code CIS. Special offer, $19.99. Second order, only $10. Get it now. Thank you so much. And now back to the show. Early 1975 now. He's back in Portland. Like I said, he's a bum. He's got nothing. There's a series of attacks on women around Portland.
Uh-oh.
The assailant has a knife. He demands oral sex from the women and then steals their purse and runs off.
It sounds like somebody has escalated.
That's the MO here. Always described as, quote, athletically built and handsome.
Yeah.
First of all, if you force a woman to blow you at knife point and she still says you're handsome,
right,
you're fucking handsome. You are a suave, handsome
She's got positive shit to say in your police report.
about their rapist.
Yeah.
You have to be remarkable looking for that. Like, he's still handsome. Yeah, it's like,
he forced me to do it, but I would have done it anyway.
Fuck
you should have seen how handsome he was.
Jesus, that's amazing. Holy shit.
That's
so, yeah, you got to be. So, March 5th, 1975. Jesus Christ, I can't get over that.
That's hilarious.
So, who raped you? He was a handsome guy. What? Wouldn't that make him ugly?
Very Clooney-esque.
Yeah.
He had a huge hog. It was adorable.
Giant. It was good. No, we shouldn't say. These poor women got.
I know their lives.
Still,
their lives are ruined. But how did they say handsome? How could they even say that?
I guess they're being honest.
Yeah.
If they thought he was handsome, but still unbelievable.
Well, he's drawing the composite. No, that one's too ugly. Keep going.
No. His eyes more almond. Really, the shape of they're beautiful. They're beautiful.
Great bones. Great cheekbones.
Sensual lips. Can you do that with your pad? Can you write that? Can you draw sensual lips? I know you're a policeman. So March 5th, 1975, a woman is attacked by the described attacker, same thing, athletically built and very handsome, while walking through a park. Okay, this is after a long series of attacks in Portland. This guy jumps out of the bushes with a knife demanding money. Yeah. At the same time, a shitload of cops jump out and tackle this guy because it's a sting operation.
Awesome.
That's a cop that was walking. The woman's a cop. They were setting up whoever's been doing this. And guess what? It's Randy with a fucking knife in his hand. Luckily, his dick's in his pants, but the rest of him, he's got a knife, and he's like, oh, shit, busted. Yeah. So now he's in trouble. This is serious. You can't be robbing people at knife point. This isn't swinging your dick around and woo, at the Dairy Queen. This is different. You know, hey, more hot fudge on that. So March, they charge Randy with robbery. He gives a long interview to the police, tells police that he doesn't drink or smoke. Well, he does rob fucking women and assault them. Have a Marlboro, asshole. Go ahead. Knock yourself out.
I don't drink or smoke. I clearly would not do this. Really?
No,
is that the line?
No. He says, but he does say that he says he's a faithful Christian, which clearly he is. And he says that he has impulse control issues and, quote, sexual problems. Mm-hmm. No shit.
I would say so.
Says he took steroids to keep himself
Is he going to try to blame this shit on that?
And said that he thought maybe that was the cause of his increased sex drive and aggression.
Actually, they say that goes opposite, don't they?
For sex drive, yeah. But aggression maybe. I mean, you are filling yourself up with testosterone.
And maybe you're aggressive because you can't come.
And if you already have your cock out and you're being aggressive sexually, maybe you're like, well, next step. Okay, it's already out. I might as well have somebody touch it. Now, Lieutenant Paul Weatherby, he's a detective in Portland, said, quote, there was a conventional wisdom back in the day that someone who was an exposer or a peeping Tom wouldn't elevate to more serious crimes. We've learned that there's nothing further from the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
Nowadays, they know it's like, oh, he's taking his dick out. That can get worse. We better intervene now.
And that's why there's a stigma attached to people who pull their dick out. Because
that's why you're a sex offender.
In 6 months, there's going to be a body in your wake.
Exactly. April 1975, he pleads guilty to reduced charges of second-degree robbery for that. He's sentenced to 10 years in prison.
Whoa.
Not fucking around now.
No.
And none of this suspended
And he's
bullshit.
sentenced
to 10 years in prison. Now, while in prison, he's a very prolific letter writer, by the way. He loves to write letters. And I guess back then, too, letter writing was a bigger thing because you didn't, unless you called someone, you had no other way to talk to them. He sends letters. He begins corresponding with an old high school friend of his, a woman named Sherry Ayres.
A woman?
A woman named Sherry Ayres in 1978.
Okay.
There's a picture of all the letters and all the envelopes, and this is literally the only way that I figured out when he started corresponding was I zoomed in and found the postage.
Look at
postmark.
You little sleuth, you.
It started in like January of 78. He started corresponding.
I bet you were
with her.
great at Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. You son of a bitch.
Love that shit.
I like it.
She's in Reykjavik. So, I don't know why that always caught my eye in that game. So, he's in prison. He's meeting with her. Also, some of his high school and college teammates are also sticking with him.
All right.
Because some of them liked him. Some of them said, hey, he's a good guy. One teammate said, quote, we visited him a lot, myself and other friends. We were supporting him and behind him. He was considered a model inmate. He wrote these Apostle Paul letters to us, similar to the language and phraseology and salutations of the Apostle Paul. We thought that was strange.
Yeah.
It's like, we all supported him. He was writing us weird letters. Yeah. That was a little off.
Probably best to stay behind him anyway if his dick's always out.
Yeah, let's stay behind him. You never know. It's going to be spraying all over the place. Now, July 1979, after 4 years in prison, he's freed on parole. 4 years.
4 of the 10.
4 of the 10.
And he gets paroled.
Kicked out of prison here. His Portland State University teammates threw him a party to celebrate his release.
That's nice of them.
Really nice of them, right? Here's a quote from one of his teammates who helped organize it. Quote, he showed up 2.5 hours late. That was the last contact I ever had with Randy. So they were like, dude.
Well, you threw a party for a fucking creep.
Well, and they're like, we supported this guy for 4 fucking years. Everybody said he's an asshole and everything. He's in prison. We support him. We throw him a goddamn party. Can't even show up. Show up with your dick out. We don't care. Just show up, dude. Put the knife
Showed
away
up
and
2 hours late. I was trying to get my hog back in my pants.
Right? God. An ex-teammate said of him, basically on Randy's behavior. This is a roommate of his during this time when he got out of prison. Said of his behavior, this is somebody told this guy. He said, quote, he told me, quote, Woodfield is really weird. He's not sleeping. He's going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week like a wild man. We thought the dude's been locked up. He's just releasing some pent-up emotions.
What's he going at?
He is not releasing. He's releasing a lot of pent-up something, but it has nothing to do with being locked up. And let's see what he's doing here. There's a few things. Then we're going to get into one of the biggest runs of criminality in the history of the world. I'm not even kidding. 1979, right when he gets out of jail, he attends his 10-year high school reunion. Gets out just in time for that. Hey, just got out of prison. Look at me. But apparently he is Mr. Cocky.
Really?
He's muscular.
How do you go to that after what you've done?
Look at it this way.
Yeah.
This is a small town in Oregon. These guys work for the phone company or
they
work, work on the road commission, like, whoever. But he got drafted by the Packers. So he still thinks he's hot shit.
He also jumped out of a bush and tried to rob a woman.
He also just got out of prison for, second-degree robbery. But he's very muscular, and I guess he wore like something real tight to show off his muscles. He's bragging with people about the Packers, telling stories. Was he telling stories from the month in training camp? Oh, man, we're doing 2-a-days, boy. It was glamorous.
You're ripped because you just had 4 years straight that's all you fucking did.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be proud of here.
And he's on roids, too.
Right.
He likes the roids, this guy. Now, Sherry Ayres, the woman he was corresponding with,
pen pal,
is the organizer of this reunion.
Okay.
She's the organizer of this and an old high school acquaintance. And they reconnect in person at this reunion and start staying in touch socially. They start talking socially. Like I said, he's got all sorts of letters. They keep corresponding if he's out of town or if she's out of town. They do letters, they call, they hang out, that sort of thing. Hopefully he didn't send her any dick pics or anything like that, which he will send some dick pics, as we're going to get into.
Of course. He faxed or something or sent her a copy of it.
So the latest technological advance. Here's my cock on every...
on every time there was an upgrade, he's like, great, I'll send a dick with that.
Perfect, that's great. He got late 70s now. Once he got out, this is like 79. He'd go to Portland State to work out with the receivers. This happens a lot. If it's an old college athlete, he'll go to his alma mater and work out with the team. It just stays in shape, and it builds. It's kind of like a family thing. These teams, hey, he played here. He's an alumni.
Right.
Coach Mouse Davis at the time, he got the job in 75 after they shit-canned Stratton because he wasn't doing a good job. They went 1-10 for fuck's sakes. They were like, let's get rid of him. Mouse Davis said, quote, he seemed like a nice kid. He was a good athlete. But one of the players said, Coach, don't get too close with that guy. He's strange. Turns out he'd already served some time in prison. That was the end of my relationship with him.
How about that?
He said, I will not be your silver-haired middle-aged white man asshole. No.
Goodbye.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Take a hike, asshole. So anyway, he's going at this point from bartending job to bartending job. He has a lot of girlfriends. all different ones. He's working at a bar. He's like a bouncer and a bartender, and he's a good-looking guy with a 70s porn stash. Yeah. He's going to be banging drunk girls left and right.
Absolutely.
He has a 1974 gold champagne edition VW Beetle that he keeps real nice and pristine in good shape.
It's a super Beetle. The 74, you said?
74 champagne edition, and it's gold. It's shitty.
Yeah, it's a terrible car.
Dump. Yeah, every car from the 70s, basically, unless it's like 72.
Or like anything above. A legit muscle car.
Yeah, I was going to say, anything like maybe that. But by 74, everything was a pile of shit, pretty much. So.
From 74 to like 94, everything was garbage.
Here's a giant car with a V6 in it, enjoying, never going anywhere.
Or a Ford LTD with it's all motor, and you're just constantly spinning your tires.
It gets 4 miles to the gallon. So in late 79, he has himself photographed all oiled up and naked.
Jesus, what?
Has himself professionally photographed. I'd like this done tastefully, please. Hold on. Let me oil my cock before you get it. That would
I'm
light
a
to be just
bouncer and
right
bartender. I totally need a photo shoot with headshots and my dick in the picture.
Because he sends the pictures to Playgirl magazine.
Oh,
He's trying to get in
God.
Playgirl magazine. Also sends naked photos to all the women he meets, basically. If he meets you and he knows your address, you're getting a picture of his cock in the mail.
I'll bet it's signed.
I have to say, that takes work.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like that. You take a pic, you develop it, you had to fucking get the address, buy a stamp, go to the post office. Back then, you better appreciate a dick pic because that took a lot of fucking work. Like, you better be like, wow, this guy really he really wants me to see his dick. You know what I mean?
You
now
can't
it's
be
like
insulted
lazy.
by it.
Now it's lazy. You just said back then there was a trip you actually had to get postage. You had to go spend 30 cents on a stamp. Or
and
whatever
if he actually got photographed by someone, you got to pay that guy to do that shit, or girl, whoever the fuck did it.
Yeah.
But you got to pay the photographer to make those.
Make my cock look good, really,
and print them out.
Yeah, and send them out.
Take the time.
May 1980, he receives a letter from Playgirl.
Oh, my God, really?
Here is what the letter reads. Quote, "Congratulations. You have been selected for possible publication in Playgirl's Guy Next Door feature. Please return model release and information sheet as soon as possible. Don't be discouraged if you do not hear from us right away. We consider all submissions each month. Playgirl will notify you when we determine the issue for which you have been selected. Thank you for your time and patience. Playgirl looks forward to seeing more of you soon," which is fucking
more
gross.
of you. That's disgusting.
You've seen it all, mister.
Yeah.
But,
what more do you want to see in Playgirl? You want to see my actual asshole?
I think maybe they do, or he wants to show it probably. I don't think he'd have a problem showing his actual asshole. I think he'd be like, yeah, my asshole belongs out there on the street.
It's right back here, matter of fact.
Yeah, come on, guys. It's right behind my ball bag. If you want to take a peek at that, I'll show it to you because I'll have it out at the Dairy Queen later. Unreal. So now we begin. Buckle up, guys. We begin possibly the one of the worst few months of anything this is like Genghis Khan didn't cause more havoc in a 3-month period than this guy. Okay, October 11th, 1980. Remember Sherry Ayers?
Yeah.
Sherry Ayers, who's 29 years old, is found dead in her Portland apartment. She has been raped, bludgeoned, and stabbed to death in the neck.
Oh my God!
This poor girl. They don't have any leads on it. They don't have anything. Randy is questioned for the sole purpose that he's the only person that she knows that she'd been talking to who's recently out of prison, especially for attacking a woman at knife points. Right. They're like, well, what the hell? Let's talk to this guy first. Homicide detectives said they found his answers, quote, evasive and deceptive. He refused a polygraph test, but his blood test didn't link him to the crime. This is pre-DNA. So they had basic blood shit that could be contaminated very easily, and that was
blood type was all they used.
That's it, and it could be contaminated super easily, too. There's no DNA, so he's not held. They can't hold him.
And if he's got a super common blood type, what the fuck does that prove?
That's nothing, and then his blood type doesn't match something, but we don't know what the deal is with that. Now, at this point, around now, he's been fired from the bar that he worked at, the one bar. His friend from the bar said, quote, Randy was fired from the bar. His thing was young girls. He was always bringing underage girls into the place. Then he asked me to go with him to small claims court and lie. I realized he was kind of weird. You think? He's trying to bang young girls and wants me to lie in court for him. This is kind of strange.
He's got people taking him to small claims court.
Small claims.
There's enough people that are pissed at him that people are worried about $50.
Who knows? Jesus Christ. Now, on November 27th, 1980, this is about a month later, this is in Portland, Oregon, 22-year-old Darcy Fix and her boyfriend, 24-year-old Doug Altig, are found dead in Fix's home. Both were shot to death execution style with a .32 caliber revolver.
Oh, shit.
Darcy Fix was the ex-girlfriend of one of Randy's closest friends. an ex-track teammate at PSU in high school. So he knows this girl.
Yeah.
This is 2 dead girls that he knows.
That he has connection to.
Woodfield, again, is questioned, but he's released for lack of evidence. Okay. Now, so far, there's 2 dead girls, and he's connected to both of them.
The only legit person that's connected to both
of them. Right. So this is getting a little weird, but hey, bad luck. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a small town. Everybody knows everybody. It's not really. It's Portland. It's not a small town. But now, December 9th, 1980, a man wearing a fake beard and a brown leather jacket holds up a gas station in Vancouver, Washington.
Okay.
This is going to keep coming. Okay. Now, all of these so far, these 3, the robbery and everything we're going to talk about now, all take place along the I-5.
Okay.
That is the Interstate 5. It's a highway that runs 1,381 miles from Mexico all the way to Canada.
Okay.
It's slightly inland. It's not like highway, whatever that is. What is that, 1 on the coast?
Highway 1, that's PCH.
Yeah, it's not PCH on the coast. It's not like that.
I know the 5.
Some.
Yeah.
The 5 is some inland. I think it goes through
San Diego, goes down to Tijuana.
It goes from there all the way to Canada.
Okay.
And kind of runs a few miles inland off the coast there. So everything is off of this highway. Nothing that takes place is more than 2 miles off a highway exit.
Really?
Not one of these crimes. All of them are within 2 miles of
that sounds fascinating.
Exit. Yeah. So
that's convenient.
It's exactly. Get right back on it, go up and down. Now, December 13th, 1980, and the last one we just had December 9th. Wait till you see how the dates start to get closer, and then shit starts happening on the same day.
Oh, my God.
In Eugene, Oregon, a man wearing a fake beard, and here's something that you're going to hear continuously, a Band-Aid described as looking like a piece of athletic tape across his nose. Like a lineman would do, or like a football player
like a linebacker wears on his broken nose.
Exactly, one of those. He's got that.
Like J.J. Watt has on his face every game.
Every time, or like a old Tom Rathman fullback or something. Now, he robs a Baskin-Robbins ice cream parlor here, gets away with a couple $100. December 14th, the very next day in Albany, Oregon, a man wearing a fake beard again and the athletic tape robs a drive-in restaurant, gets away with $280.
Okay.
Seattle, Washington, December 21st, a gunman with the same description, brushed beard, athletic tape, pins a 25-year-old woman at a Church's Chicken at gunpoint into the bathroom and forces her to masturbate him to completion.
Wow.
So forces his broad at gunpoint to jerk him off, which is the worst way you could put it, the broad jerking off, but still, this is what he does.
That's the worst thing to do to somebody.
I would
Why don't
say.
you just beat off by yourself, bro?
And several other rapes and robberies are taking place all over the I-5. It's ridiculous here. December 21st, again, this is the same day.
Good God.
Bothell, Washington, a man robs a Baskin-Robbins at gunpoint again. I would never think to rob an ice cream parlor, first of all.
That's the last place.
It's $500 out of them.
That's
so
pretty good.
In December? Who was buying all his ice cream in December?
In fucking Washington.
Yeah, it's
pretty
cold
good haul.
and rainy, and they're like, I need a strawberry cone. I want some cookies and cream right now. I'm not sure.
I think a fucking dilly bar.
How many flavors they have? I think I want to go. So in all of these cases, too, the perpetrator wears gloves but takes them off to fondle his victims always.
Really?
He pulls the phone receiver out as he leaves, like a movie, like yanks it, like not going to need this,
Don't
takes
call
it with
the
him.
cops.
Yeah, takes it with him, throws it away, and tells all the robbery victims to count to 100. So he's basically like a 1950s like desert gas station robber. You count to 100 or I'll be back. And then he takes off in a cloud of dust. Like, that's what it feels like here.
He stands by the door while they count to 20, and he's like, I can't hear you.
I can't hear you. Better do it. And he just runs.
Keep going.
Keep going. Now, January of 1981, he's working part-time at a 7-Eleven in Portland, Oregon at this point. So that's his job right now. He's not doing great.
He's a part-timer at 7-Eleven. Not even a full-time job.
No, well, he doesn't have time because he's doing a lot of shit. January 8th, again here, January 8th in Vancouver, Washington, same description, beard, athletic tape, leather jacket, holds a gun on a female gas station attendant, steals $100 and forces her to lift her bra and shirt up. It was like a little, a little taste to hold him down between rapes. Like, I don't have time to rape you right now, but just show me those tits. All right, good. Now I'm out. I want to take my dick out and go to the next place.
Show me them boobies. That's a weird, just
super weird.
He didn't even touch him. He just wants to take a peek.
I feel like it was maybe like more traffic, and he felt like he didn't have time. She's like, I'll just look at him quick. Here, and then he goes, steals $100 and goes. January 11th, 1981, Eugene, Oregon. Same thing. Beard, Band-Aid on the nose. Guy steals $35 at gunpoint from a grocery cart market store. So he's just running up and down, robbing the shit out of people.
$35.
$35. That's the 11th. January 12th. Now, next day in Sutherland, Oregon, man with a Band-Aid on his nose robs a grocery store, shoots the female clerk in the shoulder.
Oh, shit.
And steals $300 from the store. Apparently, she wasn't being cooperative, and he shot her.
$300 and she got shot.
She got shot.
And
for
at this point, in today's society, there would be all points bulletin, FBI notifying all of America. By the way, in the Pacific Northwest, we got a fucking problem.
Well, this January of '81, the police announced publicly that they have a problem. They first call him the I-5 bandit, and then we'll see here within a week they change it to the I-5 killer because shit gets a little worse.
Okay.
So everyone's aware of this now. Now there's panic in the Northwest because basically anybody who's around the I-5, nobody's safe here.
Yeah.
It's constant. January 14th. Last one was the 13th, if you remember. Corvallis, Oregon. Fake beard, brown jacket, Band-Aid, forces his way into a home. This is this is horrible here now. This one.
Now it's not businesses. Now it's people's houses.
And he does this a lot, too. Forces his way into a home. At home is 2 children.
Oh, fuck.
An 8-year-old girl and a 10-year-old girl.
Jesus.
The mother is not home. The parents are not home. Rather than, leave or whatever, he forces them to undress at gunpoint, fondles the children, and makes them masturbate him at gunpoint.
What the fuck?
That's what he's doing now. I don't even know what to say about that because it's one thing, and obviously assaulting and raping anybody's not great, but 8-year-old and a 10-year-old kid? What the fuck does that even...
I just get so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
my
that
stomach
just made me super uncomfortable. That made me like go from...
What a piece of shit.
Ha-ha, his balls are out of the Dairy Queen into I don't like this fucking at all. This is making me... This is why I had bad stuff going on last night in my head.
So now you guys know of the worst thing that could happen. So we're moving forward. Let's not talk about that part anymore.
Not the worst thing that could happen.
Okay.
That is that's
a drop
nothing.
in the bucket.
That's just a ball hanging half out of your pants. That's not even a full exposure here. We're getting worse here. Now we have a profile. A profile comes out from the FBI of the I-5 killer. Profile is male, Caucasian, has a macho self-image, recently divorced or broken up, which he's always recently broken up.
Right.
Recent jail time, would be described as a nice guy, wouldn't be suspected by friends or neighbors, is a loner. Motivation is primarily sexual, and he has latent homosexual tendencies, which I think that's the best part of it.
I feel like they threw that in just to piss him off.
That's what I figured, too. I feel like that was like a little stick. They're trying to, like, draw him out. Like, he'd be like, hey, I don't have latent homosexual. I mean,
I
no.
bet he doesn't.
Yeah, no, that guy can't. No, he's a man. That dude's a man.
Didn't you say he was macho? He had a bravado,
chicks, right? That's all he likes is chicks. Like he's trying to force himself to like women.
I would have been super impressed with that profile if he'd have been like probably played for the Green Bay Packers or some shit.
Yeah, probably. Might have been a receiver. We're thinking an outside edge guy possibly. Doesn't like to get hit.
Didn't like it going over the middle.
Don't like that at all. So January 18th, 1981. It's about 9 p.m.
Yeah.
We are at the Transamerica office building in Keizer, Oregon. It's Keizer? Keizer.
Kaiser, maybe?
Keizer.
Kaiser sounds right.
I guess.
We'll go with Keizer.
It's some shit town in Oregon with a Transamerica office building. Inside, there's some janitors finishing up their work, finishing up their cleaning, getting ready to go home. One is Shari Hull. She's a 20-year-old young lady. Yeah. She's a janitor. She's finishing up. A man somehow squeezes into the building. This is a locked, security building.
Transamerican, is that like trucking company?
I don't know. It's an office building. I think it's just the name of an office complex, and she's probably the janitor.
Why do you break into that shit? There's nothing to rob there.
Here. A man somehow, he's described as handsome and muscular, wearing jeans, a leather jacket, and a Band-Aid or piece of athletic tape across his nose. Okay, he comes in, finds Shari Hull, grabs her with one arm, holding a gun with the other hand up to her head, and walks her down a hallway. Just as this is going on, another cleaner, 20-year-old Lisa Garcia, comes into the hallway, just walking out of a room. Well, he sees her now, so what do you think he does? Holds the gun on her, takes her too. Takes both women into a back room. This is another MO of his. He's always takes a woman and takes them into the back room, into a freezer, into a bathroom, somewhere secluded. He holds a gun on both of them, takes the woman to the back room. He makes them take their clothes off, forces them to the floor, sexually assaults both of them.
Jesus.
Then he shoots both women multiple times in the back of the head, execution style, with a .32 caliber again.
God damn it.
It's the same thing. Leaves them for dead.
Yeah.
Takes off. Hull is dead pretty quickly. She's bleeding out on the floor. It's not pretty. He leaves. Lisa Garcia's alive.
Not a girl.
He left one alive. She manages to get up and get over to the phone and call the police with 2 slugs in her head.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. Police rush to the building now because she said, my friend's been shot and we've been raped. And so this is all points bulletin, man. Yeah. They're coming. Police rush to the building. On the way to the building, an officer recalls seeing a muscular man fitting the description of the assailant standing at an intersection. But he said it's a mile away from the scene.
Yeah.
He said it was too soon. He said the cop thought he would have had to have been awfully fast to get all the way there by then. You know, like have a 740, like that kind of speed to do that. So he kept driving. He just was no way the guy got here that fast. He'd have to be like, you know, got drafted by the Packers.
Right.
You know,
an NFL
like
player or some shit.
Wide receiver who doesn't like going over the middle, something like that. So Garcia they get her. She's still alive. And she makes it, Garcia. She doesn't die. Her. She makes it. She works with police on a description, and she is the one thing where they're like, we need you.
Yeah.
We need you.
Yeah.
She works with the police. She cooperates, the whole deal, obviously. Now, January 19th, this is the next day, 1981, in Vancouver, Washington. Same man robs a skating rink office at gunpoint.
The things he's deciding to go after.
Skating,
yeah,
it's a weirdest thing. I guess he's going for people who don't expect to be robbed.
Right.
People are sitting here.
Yeah, I mean, we're sitting here going, why would you do that? That's why he did it.
They're surprised.
Right.
They're like, oh, shit. Well,
exactly.
I don't know here, I guess. That'll never happen again. They probably think, that'll never happen again, whatever. Very creative. I think he maybe likes the cold. He's missing Wisconsin. Maybe that's what it is. He really wanted to stay in Oshkosh. Right. Now, January 26th, 1981, in Eugene, Oregon, a man with a Band-Aid on his nose robs a Dairy Mart at gunpoint. It was like a small little store. Another thing, he's just robbing places for $50, $100.
Dairy Mart.
During this time, Randy is living in Springfield, Oregon, and he rents a room in a home with a family. Some family has an extra room, and they're like, well, this guy, he played for the college over here, local, got drafted by the Packers, seems like a decent guy, good-looking guy, whatever. Yeah, who cares? They rent him a room. So they rent him a room. This guy lives in their home.
And he's staying in their house.
Staying in their house.
He's paying rent, but he's staying. This is fucking awkward now.
It's crazy. He's in a home with a family, man. They have no idea. So January 29th, 1981, this is in Grants Pass, Oregon. Mm-hmm. Same man, same description, robs a Winchell's donut shop. See what I mean?
I love Winchell's. I used to eat there all the time.
Well, you should go in there and rob them at gunpoint. Maybe.
Apparently you can.
You can, obviously.
I never would have thought about that.
He steals $70 and gropes a clerk and a teenage customer on the way out. Literally, like, takes the money. He's like, hold on a sec. Let me feel those
titties.
All right, then he leaves. That's literally what he did. Weird. It's the weirdest shit ever. 1 hour later, the same man robs a Richards Market in Medford, Oregon. So this is an hour later. He's just, like, racking them up now. February 2nd, a few days later, Ashland, Oregon. Same man, tape on his nose, whole deal. Robs a Knights Inn motel at gunpoint.
Okay.
This is a spree. February 3rd, next day. This is early in the day in Redding, California, farther down the I-5. Same man robs a Burger Express restaurant of $230, kidnaps an 18-year-old waitress. This is getting serious now, a woman named Lisa Morris, and 46-year-old Marie Sloan at gunpoint. Mm-hmm. Kidnaps 2 waitresses from the place, forces them into the bathroom where he binds the 46-year-old woman, Marie Sloan, with duct tape around her wrists, mouth, and ankles, and sodomizes the 18-year-old waitress. Also ties her up, too. Also tapes her up with duct tape. Now we're going to see duct tape start to be a big part of this. Like, you can see he's like, I want to take my dick out.
Yeah.
I want to do this. Now I want to rape, but, oh, shit, they can get away. I don't want him flailing. I better tape. Like, you can see him, like, getting down what he needs more into a small box. And, okay, this is what I like to do.
This is what I do.
Yeah, he's finding his way right now.
I hate this.
He's like a comic trying to find his voice. Only they're much worse. I'd rather deal with a killer trying to find their voice than a comic trying to find their voice.
Yeah, so the duct tape is his voice inflection on a specific joke.
Duct tape's like, I'm going to try act outs now. I think I can do act. Like, if I really get into it, I think I can, like, maybe be an actor, too. I think I can show off my chops.
Right. So and the sodomy is my callback.
Boy. Okay. Jesus. We got to stop laughing for this one, because this is brutal here coming up.
Okay.
February 3rd. Jesus Christ. Wow. February 3rd. Later in the day, this was early in the day, that he's already kidnapped and sodomized someone and tied 2 women up. Okay, later in the day,
damn same day, he's like, I'm not done fucking up today.
He is not done fucking up by any stretch.
I got to ruin some more lives.
He does. He finds, this is 15 miles north of the last rape that just happened of Redding. This is in Mountain Gate, California. He breaks into a home.
Oh, no.
And finds 37-year-old Donna Eckert and her 14-year-old daughter, Janelle Jarvis. They are found later shot multiple times in the head in their home. Donna was bound, the mother, Donna, was bound with their wrists, ankles, and mouth with duct tape. And Janelle, the 14-year-old daughter, was found naked, naked and bloody. And the tests later on show that she was sodomized after she was shot and killed.
Ugh.
So now
he's a necrophiliac.
Now he's sodomizing corpses. So now we've moved to that. Now we moved to they don't even have to be alive.
No.
Fuck it. This is like...
Yeah.
And this is quick. This started in October.
Fast. Yeah.
I mean, this is 3
and
months.
that was over... This
Gone.
is 2 hours later or whatever.
Yeah,
just a few hours later.
He just sodomized a person against their will. That's not enough for this
fucking asshole. And now he's
got
to kill him and then do it.
And then do it again. Now, February 4th, 1981... Another robbery, kidnap, rape happens about 100 miles north from there, and is the next day in Yreka, California. It's Yreka, Yreka. I never heard of that one before. A man with a Band-Aid on his nose, obviously, gets into the car of a 21-year-old woman named Jessie Clovis, shows her the gun and forces her to masturbate him while she drives, ends up binding her with tape and raping her, too. This is his new thing. Now... Around this time, early February 81, a teammate of his, an ex-teammate, his last name's Saxton, I don't have his first name, runs into Randy at a TGI Fridays restaurant.
Getting day drunk.
He's still going to the Fridays, at night and hanging out. And he's like, I'm going to get me some cheese sticks and I get a couple of those fruity drinks, one of those big blue things. Yeah, let's
then
do
wait
this.
till I put this Band-Aid on my nose and y'all better run for cover.
Time. Yeah, once the Band-Aid comes. That was the other thing, too. As he would leave the scene, he'd take the Band-Aid off and throw it away.
Really?
He'd chuck the Band-Aid.
He doesn't need it anymore.
It's like that's his gamer thing, and then the game's over.
It's like Over the Top. We always reference that one.
Yeah, he turns his hat back around. He's like, all right, turn my back. I'm done with the match. Turn my hat back around, hug my son.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, maybe.
Truck on down the road.
Yeah, see if I can win this truck. So he sees these people, sees Saxton. Randy tells Saxton that they should start a city league flag football team.
Yes, you should.
He really, if anyone needs a hobby, it's this fucking guy. Get this guy playing some flag football.
Get his fucking mind occupied.
Saxton said he gave Randy his number. He said, I don't remember if he gave me his or whatever. He said, I know I gave him my number. And he said, quote, a month or so later, the news broke. This is coming toward the end of this.
All right, good.
February 9th, 1981, in Corvallis, Oregon, same man robs a fabric store. See what I mean? Who thinks to do that? He takes $300 from there.
And some nice Argyle print.
Yes, he gets some really nice yarn. See, he gets a multicolored yarn. He's making one of those really nice, what are those little hook things that you make?
The hook and ladder.
The hook and ladder. He's got a really nice tabby cat that he's going to do at home. It's beautiful. He's been working on it for a while. He needs the eyes. He wants to be that special green that really pops. You know what I mean? Really pops.
A little bit of white for the sparkle.
He's trying to impress the ladies. He's like, maybe I'll just take my cock out. Maybe I'll show him my fucking hook and ladder.
My tapestry
of this tabby. Something's going to impress these girls. I don't know. So February 9th, 1981, like I said, fabric store, gets away with $300, binds the clerk and a customer that was there, because there's only one customer. It's a fucking fabric store. How many people are in that? One old lady wandering around. Binds them with tape and masturbates into the clerk's face.
Jesus.
This is his new thing now, apparently. He's going to masturbate into people's faces now. I don't know what he's thinking there.
In terms of ruining people's lives, it's probably on the lighter scale of it.
It's better than 232 slugs in your skull, but
after
it's not
being
great.
sodomized,
not great.
In a mop closet.
Yeah, I guess if this lady, once she found out all the other things, probably said, I got off easy.
I definitely did.
Fucking Clorox wipe and I was fine. The rest of them, I don't know. They had other problems, man. One Clorox wipe, I was good to go. I don't know about the rest of them.
Holy Christ.
A little counseling.
That's terrible to laugh at, but holy shit, is that funny.
Jesus, what are we in here? We're in the muck, Jimmy. I'm having fucking nightmares about this shit. Jesus. You know what I mean? Later in the same day, after he's masturbated into a woman's face, in Albany, Oregon, the same man, same deal, same description, athletic tape, fake beard, whole deal, binds two women with tape and sodomizes them in a laundromat.
Good God.
So he is insatiable, this guy, first of all. Good Christ almighty.
And he's running the gamut. It doesn't matter where you are. You are not safe.
Hotel.
You're never safe with this man on the street.
Dairy Queen, burger restaurant.
Dairy Mart.
Church's Chicken. He doesn't give a shit.
Trans-America office building, for Christ's sake. He'll get you anywhere.
That's the thing. And they're all right off the I-5. So people are freaking the fuck out,
I can imagine.
February 12th. This is the funniest.
You are safe if you're in a TGI Fridays.
You are safe, yes. He'll just want to start a flag football league with you. You can join us. Maybe if you refuse the flag football, then you're in trouble.
Right.
You want to play flag football with me? Am I not fucking good enough for you? Look at my cock. That's good enough,
I will
mister.
jerk off on your face.
I will duct tape you and jerk off all over you.
Fuck.
Actually, I'll make you do it for me.
Right. You'll jerk me off onto your own face.
Onto your own face. February 12th, 1981, Vancouver, Washington. Same guy, same deal. We all know the description now. Robs this is the greatest name of a business ever. Quote, sassy dress shop.
Yes. He probably picked that one and was like, I'm robbing them just on principle, that stupid fucking name.
They're never going to expect it. Ever. Sassy
I'll show them sassy.
Oh, this is some sass. Right in your face, old lady. Here he only steals $50 and he binds the elderly clerk with tape. It's an elderly woman, the clerk. He doesn't do anything sexual, just binds her up with tape and leaves. Usually the older, anything like over 40, anybody over 45, he doesn't rape.
You're safe.
He wants younger rape victims, and he'll kill you if you're older, but he doesn't want to rape you exactly. Now, same day, February 12th, Olympia, Washington, robs a restaurant.
Good God.
Forces 2 teenage employees into the freezer and sexually assaults them.
They're not safe.
Holy shit, I think he was mad the sassy dress shop had an old lady. He's like, I got to go somewhere with some teen girls.
There is no sass here at all.
No sass at all, man. So unbelievable, dude. This is getting...
And all he did was rape them. I mean, but he did not murder them.
He sexually assaulted them. They're alive.
Good.
Because he did it in the restaurant.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, if he's in a public place with a robbery, he just rapes and leaves. But if it's like...
If there's some time.
Secluded, and there's nobody there, and he doesn't have to run right away, he'll kill you.
He'll illuminate the
your
witness.
home, in your, in whatever, in an office building he thinks is abandoned, that sort of thing. Now, same day, February 12th, 1981, Bellevue, Washington. He's on a spree this day. Same man robs a Dairy Queen.
There it is.
Swinging his dick around. Locks a male employee in the freezer and sexually assaults a teenage female employee. Jesus. This is another thing he does. If there's ever a male, he separates the male from the dude out of here. Don't give a shit about you. Want to rape her. That's it. Just into the raping. Now, this guy, he's going around everywhere at this fucking point, this guy. So... He's from here, which is a Dairy Queen on February 12th.
Right.
So from the Dairy Queen, he gets a little hungry and he's like, I don't want to rob everybody. I'm going to go into this place. And he opens up the door and it smells so good. And it's the shawarma man standing there. It's the shawarma man.
And he's a man and he's safe.
And he says, how is it you've come to arrive here?
Right.
Why you come here? What you doing why you do this? Signs say closed. You want shawarma? I no make for you. I have knife. You go back now. Put back in pants. I have knife. I carve lamb. I carve you too. Go. You go. You no put me in freezer sexual assault. Go. You go now. Signs say closed. Kicks him out. Now, I got to say this, by the way. Doesn't the shawarma man seem like the type of guy that would try to like push his daughter off onto anybody who came into the place with a suit?
You take her.
You'd go. Be like, you want wife? You want wife? I have daughter. What she lacking pretty, she make up for in strong. Really, you take her. She good. Like he's just trying to push her off.
She
like
have many Clorox wipe.
You jerk off on face. She not care. She don't care, man. She's okay. She's strong, loyal, very good girl. You marry, you do whatever you want to her.
She has strong
care.
hands. She jerk you off.
She jerk you off. It's good. It's all right. I could see that so much. Him just like, you meet daughter? Yeah. So, February 14th, Valentine's
She have mustache,
Day.
too.
She have mustache. Very good.
Just
it's
like
good.
you.
Thick, strong. February 14th, 1981. Valentine's Day. This guy's a romantic, isn't he?
Absolutely. That's a lover's day.
Not for him. He throws himself a Valentine's party.
What?
What if an asshole throws himself a Valentine's party at the Marriott Hotel?
Jeez.
It's not even like at his room in his house there. He literally is at the hotel at a Marriott, and he's like, I'm going to have a blowout Valentine's Day bash. I don't know if he thought the ladies were going to show up, and this was going to be like his...
If you build it, they will come.
Who has time for all this? He's been on a spree. The day before, 2 days before, he had 3 sexual assaults.
Yeah.
3. Now he wants to have a party? The fuck is wrong with this guy?
He's got to celebrate.
I don't do nearly as much as this guy did. I don't work part-time at 7-Eleven and go out and just rape and rob and pillage all day long. And, what the fuck? I don't want to have a party. That seems exhausting after all that. He's got to be exhausted, but he's full of energy, this guy. Anyway, he has this party. No one shows up.
Oh, surprise.
No one shows up at all. He's super pissed that no one shows up, and he goes, this is a thing too, it's a lot, all of these things happen with, like we've said, with triggers. There's always a trigger with these people. Gets cut from the Packers, starts robbing people at gunpoint or at knife point. Anything that happens, gets out of prison, if he gets rejected by a girl, if he gets fired, he goes out and he does things. It all corresponds to these events. So he's super pissed off right now. He goes to an acquaintance of his. Remember that bar he worked at that he got fired for letting underage girls in?
That's the one.
One of the underage girls that he became friends with, that he let in at the bar that he met there, was a girl named Julie Reitz.
Okay.
She's 18 years old.
Oh.
He goes over to her house because I guess he thinks they're going to be pals, and he's trying to hook up with her. She is in Beaverton, Oregon. This is Reitz was found the next morning dead in her apartment.
Right.
Okay. There's glasses of wine out. They drank, whoever was there with her drank wine, and they were about to make coffee because there was instant coffee on the counter and water was boiling on the kettle. Or had been boiled, had been whatever, but it was on, and
it was all burned over, and now there's just a black mark in the fucking bottom of this pot.
Or you get the crust in the inside of the pot, whatever. Right. So she's found there. She was raped and shot in the head with a .32 caliber, obviously. That night, the mother warned her before she went out, be careful, there's a dangerous person out there, and she said she'll be fine, and apparently she wasn't. And they met with the fake ID thing, and he went over there, and I guess the only thing I can think is that I don't know if he went over there wanting to kill and rape her, which seems odd because of the wine.
Right.
It seems like he didn't.
He went over to be a normal person on a normal date, and then something snapped, and he was like, I can't do this. You're just fucking dead.
Was he just to the point where, like, if it didn't go, because he had this thing exactly how he liked it.
Right.
If he had it just to the point where if it didn't go just how he wanted it, then why would he want it?
Right.
So he needs it a certain way.
Also,
maybe?
too, he's a sociopath, and sociopaths that they cannot see women as a thing. As a person, it's just
Absolutely.
an ownership thing, and they're trash. And once they're done with them, they're worth nothing to him.
That's true. I mean, do you think he went over there thinking like, okay, I'm going to go try to
create a lasting friendship and an actual relationship?
Try to have some just consensual. I don't know about lasting, just consensual relationship with
just
this person.
Do something that we both agree to at once.
Reasonably normal type thing. Like, is it that, or is it literally he was mad that nobody showed up to his party? He's like, I'm going to go fucking kill somebody.
I got to take it out on somebody.
But I don't know why you would pick her.
Somebody that he knows.
And that's the odd thing too. It's like the first two people there, the Sherry Ayers and then the Darcy Fix.
Right. They were known, connected to his relationship, connected to him. Right.
It's almost like he said, "Ooh, can't keep killing girls I know because that's the police are on to that. I got to go kill strangers." And they never questioned him once about that so far.
Right.
He's been pillaging and doing shit forever. So I don't know what it was, but it seems like it would be dumb to go over there to try to kill her.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe he went over there to try to be normal, and it just didn't go the way he exactly wanted it. So he's like, I'm going to kill you and rape you.
Fuck it, it's over.
Fuck it, just rape you. I don't care. Whatever. It's the same as everybody else. During this whole time, now forget that Lisa Garcia is alive.
Yeah.
The police have her and that she's helping them. During this time, with Garcia's description, they began to concentrate on Randy as a suspect.
Nice.
They start to look at him. He's connected to three of the women now, as we said, Darcy Fix, Sherry Ayers, and the other one here. Lisa Garcia picks him out of a lineup. Julie Reitz is the other one, sorry. Lisa Garcia picks him out of a photo lineup at this point here, so that's a big fucking deal. So February 18th, they still leave him on the street, though, for a minute because they have to work everything out. She just picked him out of a lineup. They have to get their shit together if they're going to go after this guy, because once they go after him, they better have what they need.
Fuck yeah.
Or else they're going to be in trouble.
Or else they're going to be in trouble with the double jeopardy laws, and then your fucking psychopath goes back out on the road.
They're going to blow it, exactly. Or they also, too, even public opinion, and you don't want to look like you didn't have the goods and you're trying to frame this guy up, and you want it to be right. You want to nail the guy. So on February 18th, 1981, Eugene, Oregon, same man robs a 7-Eleven, binds a female employee's hands, wrists, and mouth with duct tape, and sexually assaults her.
He robs his own company.
Yeah, he's working for 7-Eleven. He's like, I know their security sucks. Fuck it, you know. Now, February 20th, in Eugene, Oregon, he enters a Taco Time restaurant.
Yeah.
Now he's Taco Time? That's a step down from fucking Sassy Dress Shop, man. That's awful. Tells the clerk to get on the floor at gunpoint, but then leaves. Doesn't do anything. All I can think is he was spooked by something. I don't know. Who knows?
Has to be.
A cop might have drove by.
You know he's got the guts.
He's
that
got
does
the balls. Yeah.
He knows how to do this.
I'm thinking literally a cop might have drove by and he went, nope.
Had to be
something.
That's the only thing that would deter him at this point.
And who knows how many times he went to do something and stopped because the situation wasn't right too. Because they said too he would park his car 4 blocks away. That's how he would do all this shit. So he wouldn't be outside. Nobody got a car description. Because he'd park like around the corner or whatever, and he'd take off running, and then he'd get in his car and be gone.
Good God.
And it's so funny, too. Everybody out there should, another book for you. I gave you score casting. Here's another book more crime-related, as I've said it 100 times, John Douglas, Mindhunter. John Douglas, Robert Ressler, the FBI profilers, they went around, profiled all the serial killers to get all this shit. Super interesting that he says that in this book that he finds that serial killers, the most popular car for them is a Volkswagen Beetle. And he has
it really?
He has no idea why, but it's always a Volkswagen Beetle. Ted Bundy had a Beetle. All these guys had Beetles.
That's weird.
Because he was saying how he drove a Beetle when he was in FBI school, and he's like, once he found all this out, he was like, wow, I drive the same car as all the serial killers. But the Beetle was like, that was the car choice of the serial killer.
That's fascinating.
No idea why. I don't know if
they're cheap, they're easy.
They're maintainable, maybe because they can fix them.
They can do it themselves.
I don't know what it is, but it's... a lot of them.
That's fascinating.
Look it up. Look up serial killers that drive Volkswagen. It's amazing how many of them had Volkswagen Beetles or Volkswagen buses.
Beetles.
They're cool. Well, you might be a serial killer. You said another thing that you agreed with him on. So who knows, Jimmy? This might save you.
Right.
Doing this show might save
you. It
you.
might keep me from murdering everybody.
Yeah, you never know. You could have murder in you still. You never know. So February 25th, 1981, back in Corvallis, Oregon, the same man here goes into a restaurant bathroom and finds 18-year-old Jill Martin. Binds her mouth, ankles, and wrists, and sodomizes her. Of course. Yeah. Duct tape, sodomy, the whole deal. Okay, now, police investigations going on. Detective Dave Kumenick narrows in on Randy. He knew the women, he fits the description, previous record that matches up, identified. This is looking awfully bad for him.
Yeah.
I mean, evidence-wise, they don't have a ton of physical evidence because it's 1981.
But the circumstantial stuff is
it's strong,
coming around.
Including an eyewitness identification, which is huge. Marion County detectives pieced together also, this is great police work here, they pieced together a call log from payphones that a calling card was used at near the site of the murders.
And who owns the calling card?
Is that? Well, they don't know, but it's the same calling card. And it's so funny that, he actually, back when he graduated high school, before he worked at the phone company. Okay. His dad, I think, got him a job. Manager, right. And his dad's a manager, and so everything he's had in his life has kind of been like, all the food he ate growing up was thanks to this phone company. Now the phone company's fucking him right in the ass.
It's going to undo him.
It's going to undo him, man.
I love it.
I love it, too. So, yeah, they find that out. That's great police work, too.
Absolutely.
Just to nail it in a little bit more. Like, okay, you were here because they were seeing the numbers that it went out to. If that's a friend of yours, that's a friend of yours, that's a friend of yours.
Right.
All your friends near that, blah, blah, blah.
All being used on the same calling card.
It's building a puzzle. It's that thing with the puzzle, and, you might not have all the pieces there, but you can make out what the puzzle is, basically. It's one of those. Now, March 3rd, 1981, they interrogate Randy.
Okay.
They sit him down. They talk to him. On March 5th, they search his room in Springfield, that room that he rented there. They find the same brand of duct tape used to bind all the victims, same duct tape. They also find one spent .32 caliber bullet in his racquetball bag. Now, I don't know if he shot somebody and saw one of the slugs go off and picked it up and collected it or what, but he had a spent .32 slug in there.
Or he had his gym bag with him because it's his rape kit, and it just popped in there.
Yeah, he had a racquetball bag, and he just probably popped it in there. Like it was probably in his car, and he was like, let me throw that in there. I don't know why you just throw it out the window, but he's an idiot, this guy. That's why. They searched his home. They found every piece of correspondence he ever got from the Packers. He had saved all this shit in a box. He had everything. He had every letter they sent him, his contract, everything you could imagine.
He's hanging on to every piece of his glory days.
That's it. That's all he has. Like, this is when I was something.
Yeah.
This is when I was good.
This is when I fucking mattered.
This is when I fucking mattered.
Yeah.
And it's so weird that he does this, but he even says, and this is disputed, but it's been in multiple sources here. He kept a copy of the airline tickets, like a photocopy of the airline tickets that the Packers sent him for training camp in his wallet with him.
What?
Like all the time.
Carried it every day.
Like to show people, like, Packers sent me a first-class ticket. See, I was drafted by the Packers. Like, that's the type of fucking person we're dealing with. A complete and total goddamn narcissist. Narcissistic, egomaniacal loon. Sociopath to the max.
No doubt.
March 9th, 1981. The police charge Randy with the murder of Sherry Hull.
All right.
Finally. Okay.
Based
Sherry
on Lisa
Hull,
Garcia.
Yeah, Sherry Hull's the office
from
janitor.
the Trans-American office janitor.
Exactly. Yeah. Also with attempted murder of Lisa Garcia, 2 counts of sodomy also. Woodfield cannot afford a lawyer. He gets a public defender and pleads not guilty.
Okay.
Right away, this isn't looking good for old Randy at this moment in time. March 16th, 1981, the grand jury indicts Randy on murder and assault charges, like we just said.
Yep.
At this point, though, in that week from the 9th to the 16th, they're not the only ones that indict him. There are indictments coming from everywhere. Everywhere. All of these places we've just said.
Now they're just going to link it all together.
They're all now, because now they have the case. They're like, M.O., that's his M.O. That's it. Yeah. So they're indicting him there. At California, he's getting indicted. He's getting indicted in Washington, Oregon, all over the place. I mean, they're rolling in like crazy. Murder, rape, sodomy, kidnapping, firearms, you fucking name it. He's getting charged with it all over the place here. Everything along the I-5. He would stand trial in Salem first on the Hull and Garcia thing and then go to the others, basically.
Gotcha.
June 1981, the trial in the case of the Hull and Garcia assault here begins. Prosecutor this is his first murder case.
Oh, God.
Why are they giving a
Don't give it to him. Get a fucking seasoned guy.
For some reason, I feel somewhat confident in him. His name's Chris Van Dyke, and he's the son of Dick Van Dyke.
Really?
How weird is that? We've had Damon Stoudemire's uncles and Dick Van Dyke's kid.
That's crazy.
Kind of weird. This is such a weird episode. Yeah, it's so strange. Dick Van Dyke's kid.
And Dick Van Dyke's kid went into law. Good for him. I like that kid.
And some shit.
He didn't have to do
Oregon.
shit. His dad is Dick Van Dyke. Yeah. He could just fucking retire and be a trust fund baby and just go on his way. But he wants to make a difference in the world, and I commend him.
Shithole county in Oregon and decides to try to prosecute a serial killer here.
Sporting serial killer. Good for him.
He calls Randy, quote, an arrogant, cold, unemotional individual, probably the most detached defendant I've ever seen.
Oh.
Yeah, Randy tried to have the case moved to a different area, change of jurisdiction and all that shit. They denied that. I think the judge at that point said, "Where would you like me to put it, on the moon?" Yeah. She said, literally, "Would you like me to put it on the moon? Because where else are you going to find a place?"
Any trip down I-5, everybody knows who you are.
Everyone in the whole country knows who you are, dickhead. You're the most famous serial killer going right now. It's funny too because this was the same time Ted Bundy was operating.
Yeah,
and this is the late '70s is just chock full of serial killer. This is just I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the shit they sprayed for mosquitoes in the 50s, fuck these kids' brains up. Honestly, I don't know what it is because we don't have the same serial killer problem.
Lead-based paint.
I don't know what it is, man. And it's so weird. There's so many of them back then. It's crazy. Now, on the case, we have an in their own words.
Great.
Let's get an in their own words. Oh, he's got plenty to say here.
Great.
In their own words, this is about basically he ends up writing later on from prison. Spoiler alert, he goes to fucking prison. From prison, he ends up exchanging letters with this author named Jennifer Furio. Okay. She writes a book called Letters from Serial Killers or some bullshit. She's some fucking, one of these...
Some girl that exploited them all.
Exploitative douchebags. Right. Look what we're doing. We're doing this too. We're making fun of him. We're not trying to say, hey, look at this. We're saying, this guy's a douchebag. Let's make fun of him. We're trying to add something. She just printed letters.
Right.
So she was exchanging letters with him, trying to get insight into shit.
Ugh.
And his letters back were kind of like...
There's enough out there. Yeah. It's gross. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Well, back then there wasn't. This was 1980. This is when they were like, what is a serial killer? How does this is a new phenomenon, basically. So this is an excerpt from, all these are excerpts from these letters. And here's one here. In their own words, quote, they only charged me because of a lineup identification by Lisa Garcia, but she never once picked me out of a color close-up photo. Or did she describe me in any police report? Even the ambulance attendants testified for me. They state Ms. Garcia was slightly wounded with a scalp wound, but clear thinking to describe a shorter, sandy-haired fella matching the mass murderer Larry Moore. He's trying to pin all this on another guy named Larry Moore, who was a killer that they convicted a while back.
And he's saying it wasn't me at all.
Totally different MO. He's trying to say it's not me. He says the police manipulated Garcia into the statement, into picking him out. She never really picked him out. This is full of shit. The whole thing is corrupt. He gets into this whole thing where it's ridiculous. Now, at the trial, Woodfield testifies on his own behalf because he's a fucking narcissist and he thinks he can fucking
he can fucking persuade anybody to believe anything he has to say.
Amazing. He denies any connection. He's actually calm and speaks softly, which I'm sure the lawyer told him, hey, they think you're a monster.
Right.
Be very calm and soft-spoken and gentle. Because,
listen, if somebody's accusing me of this shit, there's no way I'm going to be calm and gentle. No way.
No, but that's how you want to present to the jury. That he seems so gentle. He couldn't kill these women. I would trust that guy. He's not going to stab me. He admitted to owning a 32 caliber gun. They didn't find a 32. Okay, he had that hidden somewhere where they didn't find it. This is how much of a narcissist he is.
Yeah,
he says,
all these things add up to me, but it's not me.
It's not me. He says, yeah, I owned a 32 caliber. I did, but when I found out it was a violation of my parole, I threw it in the river. That's what he said. So he is such a fucking narcissist. He's going to say, yeah, that's right. I even did that, but I can get out of it because I'm that slick.
The worst part is that's a violation of my probation. So I threw it in a river? Why would you do that? Just sell the gun.
Sell it, give it away, whatever. He's a sociopath. Also, he thinks that they had Garcia hypnotized, so he wants his side to be able to hypnotize Lisa Garcia to get out of her that she's full of shit and the cops planted everything.
Ridiculous.
The court tells him to go fuck himself. Yeah. I don't think so, asshole. You're not hypnotizing the witness. No. She's fine. She described you. It's all good. At the trial, Lisa Garcia testified. That's some damning testimony.
Oh, my God.
He broke in, took me at gunpoint to a back room, pushed me down, stripped me, raped me and my friend, killed my friend, shot me in the fucking head twice. That's a harrowing tale. Yeah. There's going to be jurors sobbing
Absolutely.
At that fucking tale.
And what you just told was enough to make me feel shitty. And she had descriptions.
She had what it felt like. Yeah. She was crying her eyes out. I just said a sentence. And
he tried to kill her. She's only alive by the grace of whatever made him miss.
And in his quote, he said she was slightly wounded with a scalp wound. She had 2 bullets in her head. That's not a slight scalp wound. That's fucking shot in the head.
Right.
Your brains might be out. The other girl's brains came out.
Absolutely.
She just got lucky and has a hard skull, apparently. Unbelievable. She IDs him to the jury. She says, yes, that's the man who did this shit, obviously. June 26, 1981, jury takes just over 3 hours to deliberate and come to a verdict. Randy is found guilty on all counts.
Good.
All counts. He is sentenced to life plus 90 years in prison.
Wow.
You, sir, may fuck off.
For sure.
Keep on fucking off and go. Forever. But there's some weird shit here we'll get into also with this. This is very odd. Now we have, in their own words, from him about whether he did this murder or not. This is in the thing here. In their own words, quote, "No way. I'm really innocent of this terrible murder charge. Something about my murder case stinks of corruption by a resigned DA, a demoted lead detective, and a judge who's retired soon after my case. Corruption.
Fuck you.
They took me down. I'm an innocent man, obviously.
And you know what? In all of this, right now at this moment, I think incredibly highly of Dick Van Dyke right now.
That's what I said. He did a good job.
He raised a boy that is a fucking great dude.
Yes,
I'm so proud of Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah, you know what? Dick Van Dyke, good for you.
I've loved Dick Van Dyke for years, and now I love him even more.
Me too. Yeah, he raised
He's still alive, right? He is.
I think he's alive.
I think he is alive.
I think he is too. Now, remember John Kerry, the old PSU quarterback? Yeah. He said, quote, about him, he said, quote, "I got to know him. He was a friend. I was surprised when some of this stuff started coming down, but on reflection, I thought, that does sort of add up." It's like, after a minute, I'm like, no, he could have done that. That's not good. Fall 1981, we're not done with the trial this year. Fall 1981, he goes on trial in Benton County, Oregon, for the February 25th, 81 attack on 18-year-old Jill Martin that we told you about, where he forced her into the bathroom at gunpoint, bound her, and sodomized her. That girl here goes on trial for that. In December of 1981, he's convicted in Benton County, Oregon, on the sodomy and a felon in possession of a firearm.
Good.
He receives an additional 35 years.
Fantastic.
So now it's life plus 125 years.
Yes.
That's a solid sentence. I like that sentence a lot here. Here's a quote from one of his old coaches. This is the Portland State University secondary coach, Tim Temple, in 1973. He said, quote, "It shocked me when he went to jail. If there were 100 guys on the team, he'd be the 99th guy I'd expect to do something like that." What did the profile say? Will not be suspected by friends and family.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same thing. That's what I mean. It's holy shit. So
he wears a mask. He can keep it under wraps. You will not know if he's standing next to you.
You don't know. These women don't know.
No.
They trust him. And so, I mean, let's reset. Okay. So now he has raped and sodomized and murdered and robbed and kidnapped untold amounts of people.
Ridiculous amount of people.
Also, too, when he was in jail, his father came in. The prosecution wanted the father to help them out, and then he went in and talked to his son, and he came out, and the father said, "That's not my son in there." He was like, "I don't know who the fuck that guy is," basically. Like, it is his son physically, but he's like, "That's not my son in there."
The kid between the ears is not my boy.
Yeah, he's got trouble between his ears, this fucking guy. Let me tell you something. But he said he would not help the prosecutors either, and the Woodfield family never spoke publicly again. They said, "Go fuck yourself, everybody," because, they were harassed after that, too.
Oh, I'll bet.
These poor people, they didn't fucking do it.
No.
They raised 2 fine children that turned out just fine. And
very successful young ladies.
Yeah, so, who knows what happened to him in his life, but, there's all these fucking dead people and his parents, and how many people were just in fear of their lives? How many people were robbed and scared? How many people
jerked
were
off on their face
every day, and they got Clorox wipes on their face? It's horrible. I feel bad for all these people, Jimmy. I feel so
many
bad
people, so bad for so many. Oh.
But not nearly, good God, not nearly as bad as I feel for Randy Woodfield, technical analyst for the state of Connecticut.
Wow.
And Randy Woodfield, or Randall Woodfield, journalist at PRbuilder.com, a public relations and communications company in New York City. He does fucking PR. You have to know, having the same name as one of the most horrific serial killers in American history is not good fucking PR. That is bad PR.
Change your name, man.
Jesus Christ. Change your name to Bob. Who cares? Just not
New
Randall.
York.
For the love of God, he knows this guy exists. He's a PR
He's Googled himself many times.
Yeah. And guess what? He's got to scroll through a shitload. Do you know how far down these people were?
So far.
They're like page 17 on a search guy. Go in. It's not easy to find.
Poor
Believe
guy.
me. This guy's a serial killer. It's tons
How
of
did
shit
he not
about
change it? Even think about changing his name?
I don't know. He said, not only will I not change my name, I'm getting a fucking LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it out there.
Make everybody know.
Mr. Public Relations.
Make
Here I am.
everybody aware.
Oh, so Gary Hamblett, this is the Portland State receivers coach on Randy. He said, quote, "He was the nicest, most gentlemanly kid I ever knew. Years later, a reporter from a San Francisco newspaper called me and asked, 'Do you know a Randall Woodfield? Do you know he's the I-5 killer?' I said, 'That can't be. Probably the wrong Randall Woodfield.'" Probably the PR guy in New York. It's probably him. Have you checked him out? I hear he's an asshole. Unreal. But that's what I mean. They didn't even believe it, these people.
Unbelievable.
Now, there is, like I said, a truckload of indictments. I mean, some more indictments you can shake a fucking stick
There
at.
should be.
More indictments than you can unzip your pants and shake your cock at. I'm telling you. Ridiculous. So
more indictments than you can jerk off on.
You can jerk off on. Exactly. You got to spread it out. So prosecutors in several counties, they all have tons of evidence against him. They have all this physical evidence. They have the gunshots. They have his MO. They have all this stuff. But due to lack of resources, they don't have money. This is the late 70s when the counties were broke. The states were broke. Shit was broke. The economy was bad.
They're chasing the Zodiac all over California.
They decide not to prosecute. They said, we can't afford this because it's a huge, because if you were to do all these murder trials, it's a huge cost for the murder trial. Then there's all the appeals process. It costs the state a fortune. So they all decide not to decline. They decline to prosecute. Even California, with the double murder of Donna Eckert and her 14-year-old daughter that were taped and bound and sodomized and shot. California had the death penalty at this point. That was on the table. They could have tried him in a death penalty case. Goddamn, they could have been executing this guy.
And they can't afford it.
They said never mind because he's already in prison for 130 years. They said he's in prison for 125 years. He's not getting out anyway. What's the difference? So, but this will come in a little later.
How about appeals, though? I'd be afraid that he'd get out on appeals.
You would think, or parole, but there's something will come up a little later that we'll got. Now, October 1983, he's in prison. He's injured by another inmate during a disturbance. There's some sort of riot or something, and he's injured in the disturbance at that point. Now, 1984, his life gets a little exciting. He's really pissed about this, too. This is fucking funny. Now, I can't stand this lady because I think she's just an exploitative shithead. Ann Rule, who's the crime writer. Anybody out there is a big true crime person.
Brunette?
You know who Ann Rule is? I know she's dead now. She died a few years ago at age 83. But she was the woman who writes all the serial killer books. She was the woman who worked with Ted Bundy at the Suicide Prevention Center.
Oh, yeah, I know who she is.
The Killer Beside Me or whatever it was. She
said she never felt safer in her life than when she sat next to Ted on the suicide hotline thing.
I've read her books. I've read a few of her books. I don't care for her. I really don't. I really feel like she's trying to cross true crime with a Lifetime movie and get this readable. Like some of the things she said about Randall were just he's just so handsome and dreamy, and then he does this, and just the way she writes it, you just want to punch her right in the throat. I don't like this lady, but she writes a book released in 1984 called The I-5 Killer. It's a huge hit, obviously. He's pissed. Randy is super pissed, mostly pissed about him saying in the book, or her saying in the book, that he had small hands, herpes, and a low IQ.
Oh, my God.
So basically, sociopaths get mad when you complain about their small hands. We know that now.
Right.
But this here,
he could
low
use
IQ,
Randall,
herpes.
He could use Randall in New York to fix that PR.
Yeah, no
Jesus.
shit. He needs it. So, first of all, I'm sure he does have herpes. He's been raping people across the world here. I don't know. Small hands might explain why he was kind of a mediocre receiver. He couldn't really latch onto it. And a low IQ, I don't know. He got away with this shit for a while.
He's relating that to his dick size. He's going, small hands. I have a huge crank.
That's why he said that.
I'll show you my crank.
How dare you say, because it's a macho
I'll show you my huge blistered crank.
She insulted my manhood, and I'm going to whip it out.
And he's dumb.
And so he was not thrilled about that, as you might imagine.
That's hilarious.
This book does get him the attention of another young lady, though. A woman named Diane Downs. I don't know if you ever heard of Diane Downs. Diane Downs killed her children in the early 80s.
Oh, my God.
She shot her children. I think she killed 2 and injured 2. And she was doing this so she could hook up with some ex-boyfriend and not have kids anymore. And she's completely out there, this lady. Completely.
As you would expect.
Oh, man. You could see it on her face. You look like a picture of her, you're like, oh, boy.
That's the kind of woman that loves tiny dicks, guys with small hands that are dumb as fuck and have blisters.
So crazy. Yeah, dude, crazy. So she reads the I-5 killer and starts writing him letters because she's convicted in 1984. So they're both in prison for life.
Right.
She starts writing him letters, this Diane Downs. Unbelievable, man.
Knowing that he has herpes and she can't wait to talk to this guy.
She knows what she's got. Jesus, she's a disaster.
Yeah. She doesn't have kids, but she has that going for her.
They start getting her. Yeah, exactly. She's got like 2 left, but they're wounded. Probably pudding brained. You know how it goes there. She tells the press that they're planning on marrying.
What?
They're planning on marrying. Also, too, later on, and we're not going to get into the whole Diane Downs thing, but later on, she tries to escape from prison.
Awesome.
Actually escapes and is on the run for 10 days before she's captured.
She was headed to him.
And she was in prison, too. She was on the run.
She's like, I'm just going to go to the other prison.
He said he's got it out. I don't know. I'm going to check it out. The picture of her when she's captured is the craziest looking woman I've ever seen in my life. She looks like half happy and half up. She's like one of those crazy where you're like, whoa, I don't even know what's going on in there. So anyway, she tries to escape. She tells the press that they're going to get married. He denies that they're getting married. He's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about when they came to him. He says in their own words, quote, "We've been corresponding. I've mentioned that, but I sure hadn't planned to marry her. It's a rumor gotten out of control, I would think." He's like, I'm not marrying that crazy bitch. Sorry, not happening. Now, April of 1987, Randy files a libel suit against Ann Rule for $12 million.
Awesome.
He's trying to get $12 million out of this lady.
I love it.
He said about her, in their own words on Ann Rule here, in their own words, quote, "You think Ann Rule lied about me having shark eyes? Maybe I just looked a little scared or depressed in my bogus trial for murder, you think?" That's what he's mad about. He's not mad about the facts. He's not mad he's mad that she said he has little hands and a fucking low IQ and herpes and that shark eyes. It's all physical shit. That's how much of a narcissist he is.
He's like, go back and read the police report. I'm handsome.
Yeah, and they say in jail, too. He stays to himself mostly, and like when people walk by, like he stays to himself or whatever. But when the female guards are coming, he starts primping. He starts fixing his hair and shit. Literally, he's just a female guard. He needs to be by
combing the bush.
It's nuts, man. So January 1988 here, an Oregon federal court dismisses the lawsuit against Ann Rule by him based on the statute of limitations. So he waited too long. Basically. Really? So you need to do it within like 2 years.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
So take a hike with that shit. By 1990, he is suspected in up to 44 murders. They're starting to piece together more of his crimes. 44 at this point, and countless robberies.
Jesus.
Countless. I mean, they had him clocked for about 25 in there.
Yeah.
Countless. Ridiculous. In prison, he is married 3 times and divorced twice.
What?
He is married. People are marrying this fucking guy, man. The one he's still married to, I believe, or the last one he was married to was in 2001, a woman who started visiting him. He fucking marries her right away in 2001. Terrible. So things are going bad. What do? You get married. He's breaking every rule. Every single. You're in prison for life, you serial killer. I'm going to break that rule, get married. Yeah. Okay. So, July 2005. This is when it really starts coming. DNA is becoming a big thing. Detective Weatherroy, that we talked about before, he's the cold case supervisor up there in Portland now. He takes Randy out of the prison to his office and interrogates him about other murders. Randy didn't confess. He says this is what Detective Weatherroy said about Randy in this interview. Quote, "I remember his hair was perfect, feathered and combed. He had a perfectly even tan, nails manicured. He was very charismatic, which makes sense because he would lure his victims to get them to let their guard down. Absolutely. This now, they have connected Sherry Ayers' murder to him with the DNA.
Gotcha.
The blood type, whatever, something was messed up, but his DNA matches. Yeah. So fuck you. You got that. So they have him there. They have him there, and one other murder that was a lower one they have there now, or a different one, lower. They're no lower. They're all deaths, but a different one here. So this is in 2005. In 2006, he makes a MySpace profile.
Get out of here.
He has fucking internet access. By the way, if he has internet access, I goddamn guarantee you he's listening to this.
I hope so.
Guaranteed.
Oh, yeah, he will
is
find
such
himself.
a fucking narcissist.
Absolutely.
He's Googling himself
What
and
a
he's
turd.
listening to this. So if you're listening, you cocksucking little dick, tiny-handed, herpy
Blistered
motherfucker.
dick fuck.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Eat shit and have fun in fucking jail, asshole. You deserve it, you scumbag prick.
I hope this gives you a herpes breakout.
I hope the stress of it just makes it not even a break, just one giant blister and it explodes
right on
off
the
of your
head
body.
of your dick.
Fuck you. So here's what his profile reads on MySpace, in their own words for MySpace. Quote, I'm Randy. I'm 55. I spend the remainder of my days in prison because I have committed a murder along with many other crimes. I once tried out for the Green Bay Packers.
He throws that in
Oh, yeah.
after his fucking claim to fame.
Absolutely. The only reason I didn't make it is because the skills I had to offer, they didn't need at the time. Oh, yeah, and I constantly took my cock out in public places.
What did the
Sorry, my
Packers
bad.
not need some women to disappear? You fuck.
Which is funny because they kind of didn't need
Right.
receivers at the time. So it's kind of true, but it's also they cut him because he took his cock out all the time. And they were like, yeah, we can't have a guy on the Packers. That's going to be big news up here if he gets arrested with his cock out in the middle of a TGI Friday. It's not great. So May 10th, 2012. Police announced that Randy has been linked to 5 more murders through DNA. These are lock, stock, and fucking barrel here. Starting in 2009, they started using a new technique for DNA called magnetic bead extraction, where the police are able to extract impurities from old samples and make the samples more pure. So degraded samples that they couldn't test, now they can test them with this process. It's awesome. Police link him to the murders of Darcy Fix, Doug Altick, that couple, as we remember, that he knew, Julie Reitz, the 18-year-old with the fake ID that he let in, and also using DNA and now newer, better ballistics tests, tied him to the murders of Donna Eckhart and 14-year-old Janelle Jarvis.
Good.
The mother-daughter team.
Good.
So
Get some closure for their family.
That's 5 on the table. And they asked, are you just finding that out now? They asked Detective Jim Lawrence, is this a new thing? Did you suspect him all along? He said, quote, he's been the suspect all along. One of the things that always perplexed detectives was why. There's no textbook on a serial killer, but he's egotistical. When he was interviewed, he'd tell detectives that he'd never rape a girl. He said he didn't have to. They wanted him. No one thinks like that. That's when detectives knew he was our guy.
You betcha.
Yeah, no one says that. I don't have to rape. The chicks want me all the time. I'm like, I don't know. Fuck, they probably all hate me. What do I care? Right. You know what I mean? Nobody. I don't think. Who thinks like that?
No.
Only an asshole.
I don't have that. I'm not wired that way at all.
You know one guy like that.
Yeah. Randy.
And he's capable. No, we know one guy like that.
Yeah.
He's fucking capable of this.
If he didn't need them to be animated, I've said this a million times. If he did not need,
then it's 2 because we're talking about different people.
Oh, okay.
It's 2 then.
All right.
It's 2.
I know a guy that if he didn't need the human connection, there would be fucking bodies everywhere.
And I've told him that. I said if you were 10 years younger, you'd be a serial killer. I said the only reason you're not is because you're too old. I literally sat him down and told him that. And he went. He literally went. I don't know, like that. Like he didn't say like, what are you talking about? Anyway, off the personal stuff here. New cases here. The senior deputy prosecutor, they made a big rollout, had a huge press conference. It's on YouTube. It's like 35 minutes long, this press conference about all these different cases because they brought in the people from the different places, the different counties and everything else. Senior deputy prosecutor in Multnomah County in Oregon, Rod Underhill, said that they've all made a joint decision not to prosecute the cases based on cost. He said, quote, we expect that he will die in the system.
Hope.
They also say basically like we have all this. It's lock, stock,
it's ready to
DNA
go.
evidence. Basically, if he ever actually, by some horrible miracle of Satan, gets up for parole, they're going to drop these binders on their desk and go, guess what? No.
Do you want out?
Yeah.
Do you want out? Because if you get out, you're not getting out.
You're going right back in. And that'll keep them from getting paroled also. He can't come in and be like, I don't know what happened. It was a mistake. They go, here's 5 more.
Right.
Fuck off.
So go back to your cell.
Eat a dick, mister. So, yeah, they're going to keep him in there forever, basically. And now other possible crimes.
The positive part is that the state of Washington has to pay for his cock cream. So
they do,
just stick around.
Let's stick around. We'll pay for your Valtrex. It's okay. So
enjoy the creams, fuckface.
So enjoy the creams on the state, on us. So other possible crimes he may be linked to. He's thought to have killed Sylvia Durante, who's 21, in December of 1979. She was strangled in Seattle and dumped next to the I-5 highway. February 1980, 19-year-old Marcia Wetter and 18-year-old Kathy Allen were hitchhiking outside of Spokane on the I-5, and their bodies were found in May of 1980. They didn't find their bodies for 2 months until Mount St. Helens erupted and people started going to the woods or whatever. Then they found them there. It was terrible. Rumors of 4 more women in Huntington Beach, California, who were killed at the same time with the same MO that when he was down there for a couple months. Same MO, same everything. So that there is, we don't have any idea how many people he killed. Like I said, their estimates about probably 44 is what they're thinking.
Tijuana to Canada, anything near the I-5, it could have been him.
Now, here's a quote that's great from a clueless guy. Gary Scallon. He was a Manitowoc Chief wide receiver in 1974, and he doesn't pay attention to the news at all because they asked him about Randall, and he said, quote, he was kind of a good-looking guy, maybe kind of a ladies' man, good physique in the whole thing. I don't remember anything specific about him. What's he up to now? Literally, that was like 2 years ago.
He's treating cockwards in the penal system in fucking Washington.
Now, let's end this with a couple things.
Is it Washington or Oregon that he's in?
Oregon State Penitentiary he's in. At the end of this letter, one of these letters to Jennifer Furio, the author lady, he says, he was complaining, like we said, about they set me up and it's all a big conspiracy. Yeah. And he says first of all, he was in kind of an argument over letters because he was like, look, the beginning of the letter was like, let's agree to disagree. Okay. Yeah. You want information and I want to talk and whatever. And you need to talk to me a little nicer to get whatever. This is the end of the letter where he says all these innocent, and now he's like trying to fucking swoop in on her. In their own words, quote, okay, enough crying on your shoulder. You only care about why murderers strike out in anger or rage. How should I know? What a question, Jenny. Care to write me more personally? Share a photo? Talk by phone? Your choice. Ciao, Randall Woodfield.
Ciao.
He said fucking ciao.
He may as well have said, send me some titties. What do you got?
So we're going to leave that story on ciao, Randall Woodfield. Ciao, Randall. Eat a cock, mister. So if you cannot get enough of Randall Woodfield and you just need his sexiness in your life, you can go to supernaut.com. I'm not going to spell it because no one should buy this shit, but supernaut.com. For $30, you can get a wallet-sized color photo of a shirtless Randy taken in 2000 in the prison yard.
Awful.
Standing next to a flexing man with a huge smile. And on the back, latent homosexuality, on the back it said, he wrote on the back, it's handwritten in autograph, it said, flex off. Workout partner on parole now. See the gray coming in on the sides? We lost UT hairstyling, so no more hair dye. Ha! Hugs, Randall XXX.
It's a personalized photo. There's only one of them.
It's for sale.
That's awesome.
So if you want to get on there, get that.
But it's a wallet size.
That's him. It's a wallet size. Yes, it's tiny, tiny like his small hands and cock. Very tiny.
What's he up
to? What's he up to now? Like just man, what's he up to? Well, let's see here.
Matter of fact, it's kind of deep. Do you got 2 hours?
About an hour 50? Want to sit down? Want to hear about his cock too? Because you can either read Ann Rule's book or you can hear these guys talk about his cock, which is going to be much more entertaining than Ann Rule's piece of shit, fucking trashy. Fucking
so amazing. What a story.
She writes about serial killers in the way like romance novels are written. It's pathetic. That's a crazy story.
What the fuck?
Guys, thank you so much for 1 year of support. We owed you that. We owed you a serial killer.
That's what we're giving to you, a story full of cock.
Me doing about 40 hours of research this week on that shit, and literally I can't close my hand from writing. It hurts so fucking bad.
Patreon.com/crime and sports.
Patreon.com/crime or slash, not backslash.
Yeah, okay.
Slash crime and sports.
James needs it. We deserve
it, guys. But thank you guys so much. We're telling you, you guys have done it all for us. We thank you guys so much. Please, guys, iTunes reviews. Give us 5 stars. Tell us you're following
Get us over 200.
And if you really like us, get on patreon.com/crime and sports. Throw us a few bucks or some rewards on there. We'll definitely shout you out. We'll do stuff like that.
No doubt.
You just help us support the show. You help us do the show, honestly, because, this is, like I said, I between this and Small Town Murder also, listen to Small Town Murder, our other podcast. It's so very good. Fun. Also, too, check me out on P.S. I Hate This Movie, where we make fun of bad romantic comedies. You got to check that out, too. But between this and Small Town Murder, man, this is... I'm working 50 hours
I love it.
I'm working like 50 hours a week on this podcast. So
you're an animal.
To make a little bit of money off it would kind of be nice. It would really help make me not think I'm insane for fucking doing this. So please do that. It really helps us with sponsors. It helps us with everything. And also, too, get on our social media. We're not going to do shout-outs this week because we had kind of a long one.
Yeah.
Next week, we have a boatload of shout-outs we're going to do.
It's going to get crazy.
Next week. We're going to also kind of some people that from the beginning were we're on our side and stuff like that. So
you can follow me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. And I'll be at the San Jose Improv with my friend Jesse May Peluso, February 17th through the 19th. So come out, and if you want to come to the show, email crimeandsports@gmail.com, and I'll get you free tickets. I got a few people that are coming out already, so hurry up before those tickets are gone. Meanwhile, there's some people over at Patreon that donated that we want to say thank you so fucking much
Thank you. And just a couple people, because we're going to get into it more next week, but there was just a couple I saw that Scott Palmer, thank you so much for your donation. There's Monica
in Seattle upped her donation. Thank you so much, Monica.
Thank you guys so much. You guys have really been, Kelly Tudor, of course, who donated to us. Thank you guys so much. Just thank you guys so much for those donations. They mean everything to us. Seriously, get on the social media. I'm at Jimmie P is Funny. You can find me. My name's James Pietragallo. You can follow the show at Crime and Sports on Twitter, at Crime and Sports on Instagram, Facebook.com/Crime and Sports, crimeandsports@gmail.com, or Crime and Sports fucking everywhere.
Get a hold of us,
Find
damn it.
us, get a hold of us. Listen to Small Town Murder. Get on that shit too. Guys, 1 year, and I'm telling you, we went from nothing. We went from having no listeners, went to from having 14 listens to one day to literally having sponsors and having tens of thousands of listeners
every week, and it's bigger
amazing every week. And
it blows my mind that you guys love this, and
it kills us, man. Thank you guys.
I'm so thankful for it.
Yeah, we can't thank you guys enough. It's all you guys, the crime and sports movement. We cannot thank you guys enough. We will be back next week with more fuckery live from the Crime and Sports studios. We will see you next week.
If you want to feel more connected to humanity and a little less alone, listen to Beautiful Anonymous. Each week, I take a phone call from one random anonymous human being. There's over 400 episodes in our back catalog. You get to feel connected to all these different people all over the world. Recent episodes include one where a lady survived a murder attempt by her own son. But then the week before that, we just talked about Star Trek. It can be anything. It's unpredictable. It's raw. It's real. Get Beautiful Anonymous wherever you listen to podcasts.